Yeah, it always seems to be the two-factor authentication, but you gotta ask me for it, and you never do. Welcome everybody. Let's be getting started in just a second. Thank you for joining us. If you're here right now and you're hearing my voice, you're on the correct channel. I'm going to fire up the other channels just to drive some people over here, but you guys just stay right where you're at. Even if you get another notification for Cold Beer Condemned or whatever, just stay where you're at. There's that notorious troll Rob P. If somebody would ban him, I'd appreciate it.
We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through
Defiant Discourse podcast. No matter where you're seeing this at, come to the Defiant Discourse podcast channel on YouTube or our Facebook page. Either one of those, you're more than welcome to watch there, but I am not going to be on Cold Beer Condemned for long. And we're getting started right now. Welcome everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Defiant Discourse podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is a Thursday night, the same night we do it every week. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. We're live on the Defiant Discourse podcast YouTube channel. If you're at Cold Beer Condemned, which I already see someone saying, what is a restream bot? So you're on the wrong channel. If you're on Cold Beer Condemned YouTube channel, go up in the YouTube search bar and type in Defiant Discourse podcast, or click this link I'm fixing to drop right now. There's the link to come directly to the video. This is the link to DDP. And paste it. There you go. But the restream bot puts the chat messages from one platform into another one. But we're over in Defiant Discourse podcast. You only get the first few minutes if you stay over on the Cold Beer Condemned channel. It's just to drive people over here. Same thing with Twitter. So join us either on the Cold Beer Confessional Facebook page or the DDP Defiant Discourse Podcast YouTube page. But because it is a podcast for Thursday night, that means we have a guest. So let me grab in, or a co-host, I guess. Could you call him that? I don't know. Either way, it's Sage from Sage News. Same person all the time. What's up, Sage?
Listen, I'm able to hack. The minute I come on board, I'm able to hack you. The minute anybody comes up on anybody's live stream, it's an instant hack.
You are a hack. That's the problem.
That's the problem. That's absolutely the problem. So, what's going on, buddy?
Not taking showers or drinking water or swimming or washing dishes or bathing our children, or even using the toilet. That's a little bit too close for me for comfort, to be honest with you. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I just heard. Well, I didn't just hear, but I heard the big news that everybody is watching the water and everybody's watching the drinking water. So, if you let me give it a couple things. First of all, the first question is what job have you not had? Actually, I think that's one of the questions, because you seem to have had a lot of jobs. You've done a lot of stuff.
So when I went into, when I first got out of high school, I went into construction.
Yeah.
And that led me on the road. So I started building windmills.
Yeah.
And then after windmills, I was in the Army. And then when I got out of the Army, I went back to construction on the road, had a couple little jobs like cell phone towers. I went back out on the road for a little bit, doing turbines. And then I came back home and worked for a local municipality, worked at water and wastewater.
Yeah.
Worked some local millwright jobs. That's when I became a millwright, was when I went out, then worked on turbines. But worked some millwright jobs. I worked at quite a few jobs.
Railroad?
Bounced around different things. Yeah, the railroad was supposed to be my job to end all jobs, but they shut it down. So with the railroad, I would, when you first started at the railroad, it's kind of unsteady. You get it's laid off, but they call it furlough. So when I would leave the railroad, I would go immediately back out on the road anytime I get furloughed. And that's where I went when they finally shut it down. My most recent job was a millwright on the road. But
yeah, I was actually shocked because I watched your video and you said that you worked at wastewater. I'm like, God damn, where's this dude? Never worked. He's worked everywhere.
Yeah, I worked eight months in a wastewater plant, and then another 6 months, so 14 months total, because 6 months was freshwater plant.
Didn't you drive truck?
Yeah, but the truck driving was probably the shortest job I ever had. Like I had my CDLs forever, so even when I worked that wastewater job, I drove one of their tankers which had sludge in it. I drove it for a while over to the belt press and to the landfill. But yeah, going over the road, I was on my fourth delivery when I quit. So that was my shortest job. But most jobs I stayed at least a year, maybe a little bit longer. The city was a really good job. The wastewater, the freshwater wastewater stuff. The problem is it had a shit ton of benefits and no pay.
Shit ton. Water.
So
shit
like
ton.
you had really good benefits, really good retirement. It was like state retirement. I could roll my military time into the retirement. Like it was really good. But I was making like $12 an hour, and the people that had been there like 30 years were making like $14 an hour. And I knew I could go out and make 50 on the road. So it didn't add up.
Gotcha. No, I asked for the gist of this thing. So basically, what they're doing is they're out running around grabbing snakes and squeezing them into the water. Is that the
so they're trying to play it like they're using synthetic venom, which is a thing. Like they synthesize venom and anti-venom. But they can't even keep up with the snake bites around the world. That's why we still have to have so many snake milkers, is what they call them. But people who either catch snakes in the wild or keep them for a short period of time. If you keep a snake too long in captivity, it'll stop producing large amounts of venom. It'll still be able to use venom if it needs it, but it'll be lesser and lesser amounts each year.
Right.
So that's why we still have to have snake farmers and snake wranglers and shit, because they can't even keep up with the snake bites with synthetic venom. But apparently they have a faucet they turn on to contaminate hundreds of billions of gallons. So
yeah, I was told that you have to have an open mind. You have to actually have an open mind to listen to this. I think you have to have an empty mind. I think they're confusing open with empty. But so the logic is, just so I'm making sure I'm getting this right, the logic to squeezing, going out and milking the snake, as you say, into the water is doing what? What's the purpose of that?
So apparently the cove pandemic disease or whatever, the virus, is actually based on that venom. It's venom poisoning. It was put in the water, I guess, just to make people sick, and then you would seek out treatment. And if you got remdesivir as a treatment, then that was what actually killed you.
So what they did is they found enough. I am so pissed off. Okay. We went the wrong route. We really did. Because if people seriously are believing this, wow. So what they're saying is they ran around milking snakes, putting the venom in the water just to give you the vid so that you would get the treatment so that you would die. Sure. And that's it? That was the sole purpose of all this work?
I think that's it. I think that's the
whole
thing.
Is the death? The death is just to what? The population control?
Yeah. Well, I guess it was less about death. I mean, they knew they were going to kill some people, which was one of their goals, but it was ultimately about getting enough people sick to get them afraid, to get them locked in their house. And if you're dealing with anything in the Q movement, it's ultimately to secure the contest they have in November. See, Yori picked up on it. She knows that Mariah used to be a professional snake milker. She's milked manacondas. She's
I don't think those are poisonous.
Oh, a black snake. She's had some of those. I don't know.
I don't think those are the poisonous ones. So just so I know, now that again,
here's the biggest issue. Someone just said it in chat, like.
But let me finish first. The Willaconda is definitely poisonous. The Willaconda. But besides that, go ahead.
Mariah's got some immunity to it, I guess. But so the biggest problem with this whole thing is there's like an astronomical amount more of like arsenic. Like it's in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like there's so many more things that they could have picked up and been like, okay, we're gonna drop this off in the water.
Right. I mean, the logic behind the snake venom and running around milking snakes when there is, like you said, there is so many other ways to do this.
Why'd you say it's sexy? You're supposed to say it as matter-of-factly as possible. You're not supposed to say it sexy like. That was weird.
Is that me?
Yeah, you're like, milking those snakes. What was that?
Well, everything I say to you, you seem to find sexy.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think it's a feature that I have when I speak with you. I think you just hear it that way.
No, I think it's a feature I have. Maybe it's like evolution or something where I'm like the alpha male. I pick up on these subtle tones from all these bitches around me, and it always comes through as some type of advance. Like you want to procreate. I can tell. Like I can figure it out.
Those days are
It's
past
natural.
for me, partner. Those days
Oh,
are past.
okay.
I'm the
Yeah.
older one, right? Remember that? You understand? I don't know. I just find that it is the dumbest thing on the planet, and for people to believe this, it's you truly. It's not about having an open mind; it's having an empty mind, because we're talking the world. They're doing this to affect the world. The world has COVID, has the vid, correct? The world.
So I looked it up as far as freshwater plants. In freshwater plants, there's like almost 200,000 private sector freshwater plant. No. I'm sorry, public sector freshwater plants. And then there's some communities that have private freshwater plants that are not on that list.
Yeah. So Trump was in charge of this then. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, warp speed, I think that's what they called it.
It would have had to have been planned while he was in office.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another question. So let's say this gets out, right? This now gets out and it's true. If you're other countries and you found out that the United States did this and put it in the water to affect the world and is now killing off your people, is that an act of war?
Well, I think it's a big conglomerate worldwide.
Would every other country now come after the United States because we're now killing?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a worldwide effort.
As in every single
the deep state. The deep state.
Every president is now in on this.
Every member of the deep state, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, who's these members? We're talking Putin and Xi and
anybody that the U.S. is not actively trying to kill in a war zone.
Ooh, that limits it to. I just find that interesting because now Australia, all these countries seem to have it. I would think that would be something that wouldn't go over well.
See, all these showers have went to your head, so that's the problem. You're not thinking clearly.
Well, I've been bathing in alcohol.
Oh yeah, it explains your dry skin.
It does. I don't know. I just think that if this is the point that we're at in humanity, and these people truly believe something to this aspect, black pill it up, because we are now at that point that there is no possibility of those people coming back to reality. You know what's funny? What's funny is I've talked about this with Motion, and Motion, we all know, like I said, she's had some issues. She's been committed multiple times. She's legitimately crazy. Let's put it that way, right? She is legitimately has doctors that can verify. And she's like, you know what? There has to be people on the inside that are like, dude, let me out because bring that guy in. Those people are nuts. I'm not nuts. Sure. I mean, I'm not crazy. That story sounds perfectly sane to me. Let me out.
There you go.
I mean, that's the point.
Pretty good.
Right?
I believe it. I mean, I don't understand what you don't believe.
I don't believe that we're putting snake venom, synthesized or not, into the water to kill people that we give a certain medicine. I don't understand.
Okay, so listen. The guy that came out with the theory said, look, I don't want you to fixate on the water. I want you to fixate on its snake venom. But I believe it's being delivered through the water, but I don't want you to fixate on that.
So it's snake venom that caused the vid. So a chiropractor said that it's snake venom that caused the vid.
A former chiropractor.
Even better. So it's a former chiropractor that says it's snake venom that caused the vid.
Yes.
And it was released on purpose through the water.
Well, he don't want you to focus on that. He wants you to focus on the venom.
What about the venom?
That it's a venom-based illness.
Okay. A venom-based illness that don't focus on the water. So it's not airborne then. We don't have to wear masks.
He said you may think I'm crazy by saying it's distributed through the water, but I think you're crazy by saying that it's up in the air and there's jet streams going around everywhere and it's just floating around. That sounds ridiculous. So there you
go. Where do we go from here as a society? Honestly.
Well, we already did snakes. We could do poisonous frogs next.
We could. Gay ones. Nope, that's covered.
Yeah. Alex Jones got that years ago.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're watching on my main channel, Cold Beer Condemned, I'm fixing to shut it down. We've been dropping the link for the Defiant Discourse podcast. You're going to have to join us there. Same thing if you're on Twitter. I left the link in the first comment below this tweet. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us over on the Defiant Discourse podcast YouTube channel. That's where we broadcast on Thursday nights. So come join us. I'm fixing to turn it off in just a minute. So you all caught up to speed now? It's snake venom to get you to take the deadly remdesivir.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that it's definitely, if countries were to find out that we are distributing this for a purpose of killing off people, there's no way there's any recourse from other countries that would possibly think that we are,
they're in on it.
Yeah, of course they're in on it because they like us and they get along and everything is copacetic and we're just doing this. Dumbest people on the planet. They are the dumbest people. And please, any of you in here, any of you that are just lurking and listening, when we drop the link, I will be the politest person in the world. Please click the link, and I almost need to know why you believe it. I'm extremely fascinated by the human mind, and I truly need to hear the logic behind why this is even possible. I just need to hear it.
All right, guys, I'm dropping the link one more time and shutting down right now. If the video stops, you're on the wrong channel. Come to the Defiant Discourse podcast. I just dropped the link. I'm turning it off and Twitter off because I always forget. It says there's still 30-some people over there. So if you want to watch this, come to the Defiant Discourse podcast. And we'll see you over there. And killing Twitter as well. Thank you for joining us. Follow my Twitter account. And we'll see you over here on the YouTube channel. I've got a funny video, Sage.
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Probably not. It's got to be more of the same. Hit it. Let's do it, actually.
My patrons have already seen it, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. So somebody went after Mr. Jason Q today. It was a follower of mine called the username Girls for Truth.
Yeah.
Girls for Truth. So let me grab this video right quick.
Right.
Because I think I have it private, but or unlisted. I still be able to grab it though.
Right.
There it is. All right, so this is Jason Q on High Vibes Up, and for some reason, the mother-son team is missing, and I haven't even seen this full video, but they've been replaced by this lady up here in the top left corner because it still says Kid and Candy, but they're not there, and there's also got someone named Jack's iPhone is there. And, of course, our man Jason Q, our favorite very, very sleepy, then very, very awake boy. And he's going to address the chat. So check this out right quick.
How do I get on the panel?
You don't.
Damn.
Right? We have the monoclonal antibodies. Remember we talk about these drugs that Girls for Truth. You know what? How about this? I don't take any fucking drugs, number one. So, the Girls for Truth, it's like, either, get at least some facts straight or actually do some research and do something. Because honestly, this whole fucking drug thing, everybody sits there, every one of you just fuck off. Go watch somebody else. You're
That's
here,
what
aren't
I'm
you?
saying. Why are you here?
I mean, fucking get rid of them. Fucking boot her. Fucking mod, take her out. Fuck it. Let her
She's
learn
probably
from fucking,
smoking meth in the fucking
let her learn
basement.
from fucking
all right.
let her learn from
Whatever you like.
48 from those fucking cock slaves. I don't care. It's gonna get to the point where I'm just gonna get fucking pissed. I'm just say fuck a lot of you guys.
Fuck a lot of you guys. He thinks it's a hit piece from Negative 48 because he says, let her go over there back to Negative 48 and those cock slayers.
Wow.
Oh, and then the guy on the bottom says, oh, she's probably smoking meth in her basement. Nothing wrong with that. Do whatever you like. So apparently he knows that Jason's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
This isn't pissed.
Not anybody here, but there's somebody in there. Nighttime, no, just boot them. Fucking go. Oh, you know what? I'm actually a host too.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, too. Oh, you know what? I think I can do that.
I think
So
you
know
can.
what? And it's not like we're science to anybody. It's like you're pretty much making a false and just no. Not deal with it.
He was looking for the word slanderous.
Correct. False.
You're making a false and, claim.
accusations. I think he was looking for accusation.
It's disrespectful when somebody
Yep.
spends this much time researching so that other people can get this information and you come here and then
Yeah, but most of us aren't awake for 6.5 days straight,
Ow.
and then crash out for 3 days and come right back up.
On camera.
say something like that. Like,
Yeah, like pens.
Fucking rotten hell bitch.
That's 3.
She's probably one of those fucking bull dykes over there, fucking sitting there saying that maybe all these kids should learn how to fucking start screwing when they're 3 years old too.
Wow.
She's a bulldog who thinks that kids should have intercourse at 3 years old. Because she said, "Are you on drugs?"
Wow. That's
Oh,
woo. That was almost. You would have been great if you would have been said if she would have said asking for a friend. That right there would have hammered it right there.
She may have. I didn't actually see the comment because they didn't have live chat turned on. But
Are you on drugs? Asking for a friend.
look at this girl's face.
Yeah, his last comment with the children.
People. If I'm on drugs, guess what? You should fucking get some too.
There you go, folks. If Jason Q is on drugs, you should get some too.
Wow. Does he go on? Is there more?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you're on drugs, you
Somebody-
probably act like an accountant.
yeah.
Probably like, okay.
That's why I love trolls because they're fucking useless.
I love trolls because they're fucking useless. I fucking hate those people. I love trolls.
I love trolls.
I don't want to talk about it. He sounds like he's cam-tarded.
He does.
So yeah.
There's far more that love you.
Definitely.
And personally,
Pen number 4. Come on.
I'm just like, I don't even care. Honestly,
You
I didn't care
care.
before. I didn't care now. It's like
No, you care.
we're here doing all this, but to sit there and be, just total slanderous to people, there's no room for that.
Yeah.
And now,
He remembered the word slanderous suddenly.
He got it that time.
honestly, this whole
Well, the thing is, you're very passionate. You're off the wall, and you are extremely excitable because you love what you're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, meth. He loves doing meth. That's right. He does love what he's doing.
What do you love doing is the problem.
There she is. Girls for Truth. What was the actual comment you put in the chat? We were discussing it.
Yeah.
Here it is. All I said was, "You looked tired the other night. Was you drugged up?"
Oh,
That was it.
wow.
Damn.
It's the small things that set people off. It seems like it's the small
Mhm.
things.
We should introduce, if Jason Q and Cam would do a show on Liberty
Oh.
Warrior on Monday night, that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one, especially if they go to Frank's Beach and they do it on Frank's Beach. That'd be awesome.
For sure.
And most people will be like, what the hell is he taking? They probably just want some. It's called
Yeah.
knowledge. It works. Oh, that's the 4th pen. What the fuck?
it's called knowledge or
Sorry.
dick. You're getting neither.
It's called Knowledge or Dick. You're getting neither, and Jason Q's getting all of it, I guess. I don't.
Did he not set himself up for that? Wasn't any good.
It's called
I don't-
Knowledge or Dick, and I've got it all, and I keep
Right.
getting it harder every night.
I swear to God, do they not understand? Go ahead. That I don't.
I want to hear
What the
it.
hell is he taking? They probably just want some. It's called knowledge. It works. Oh, that's the 4th pen. What the fuck?
It's called knowledge or
Sorry.
dick. You're getting neither.
Liberty
Dumbass.
Sherbert.
I love it.
Having pen malfunctions over here. Jesus
Oh, you need
Christ.
some? You need some? I got your big paperclip. I got your whole pen you need.
The guy said I'm having pins malfunctions. He said, "You need some? I got you. I got a big paper clip."
What is nothing wrong here?
Oh, this is what I use. I hold my straw while I'm fucking tooting up some meth.
Christ.
I've got some balled up aluminum foil. I've got some fucking charboy and a empty glass pipe. I've got all kinds of supplies over here if you need some.
Right.
You
So
have
it's
an
4 pens.
entire Office Depot there, I'm sure.
Half of it. Half of it.
Unbelievable.
So,
Oh,
This
You
doesn't
know-
even have ink in it.
Jesus.
That's what the other ones did. I'll find something here.
So,
I did want to shout out. Jason Q today for taking up all the not knowledge. I would appreciate some knowledge back, but all the dick. It's really turned Mariah into a straight and narrow housewife. She is back. She's back on that grind instead of trying to be out in these streets. So I do appreciate that. But I didn't think he would admit it live on air.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty funny clip. I've got another funny clip. You want to see it?
All right. Yeah.
So this comes to us from Clay Clark. I'm actually looking for this full video to review on my channel. If anybody knows how to get this full video,
Oh, another guy.
I would appreciate it. Let me grab the this one. It starts at 9 minutes in.
Hedging is over after they've backed.
So this guy covers a lot of the crazy Q people as well. He's more of like a leftist progressive, but he still covers it, and he's pretty funny sometimes. But he's got this Clay Clark clip that I want, so let's check this out. So here's Clay Clark appearing with this guy on a Real America's Voice.
Fear-mongering from Clay Clark is absolute nonsense. And he's still saying this in late March 2022. So that's who we're dealing with in Clay Clark. Let's keep listening to the clip.
Than 4/6s. That legislation, if that were passed, would make every single person on the planet, or at least in America, to take an RNA-modifying nanotechnology inside your body that has the capacity to control your thoughts.
Oh my God.
So they've
Wait.
moved on past its DNA, RNA modifying to now House Resolution 6666, which I happen to have a copy of.
Oh, God.
Requires you to take an RNA modifying vaccine that actually controls your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It controls you. It works you like a robot. It controls your thoughts, which is pretty extreme considering. Literally, it's just about testing and content. It doesn't even require. So HR 6666. It's just scary because it's got 6 in it, and he's like a conservative guy now, so you have to be scared of 6s. But it all it does. It doesn't even require mandatory vaccinations. It doesn't. It puts in there that you can either be tested weekly or get vaccinated. But that was it. It doesn't have any of that in it. They tried at first to claim that it made it to where they could come take you out of your house and kick down your door and jerk your kids out and this and that. And when none of that went over well because it's not in the bill text, well, now it's that it controls your mind. It controls your thoughts.
Nice. That is nice.
So the be careful if you're around Clay Clark. He even says here in just a second that if you've already taken it, here's what you need to do. Listen.
This is really unhinged stuff. I didn't hear anything about that's a new claim. Like, from my understanding, the government busting into your house and
Capacity to control your thoughts.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love this stuff. It is so unhinged and crazy. It is fascinating to me. So he's talking about forced vaccination here. That's not in HR 6666 either. So I really don't know what he's even talking about.
So everybody out there needs to make sure that all of your elected officials need to know, do not let HR 6666 pass, and do not take those RNA-modifying nanotechnologies inside your body. If you've already taken the shots inside your body and you have concerns, please go to .com and just come out to one of our events, because we have doctors, scientists, and people that know what's going on.
No.
So if you've already taken it, please come buy my $500 ticket, because I have all the doctors and scientists that can fix you. I don't think he does. I don't think he has the doctors or the scientists to fix anybody.
Nope. They can't even. Wasn't he the one that they ended up shooting anthrax or some type of stuff into the building? And
At his event, he denies it. But yeah, they said it was at his event. They was anthrax come through the vent. He came on and said, "No, guys, it's a smoke machine. We have them. It's like a fog machine. We have them at every event. It's not a big deal. Everything's good." But everybody around him was saying, "Oh, he's satanic. He let them in there. He let them do this. Blah blah blah." Yeah,
unbelievable.
Snake jizz keeps me young in 165 years old, or I'm 165 years old. That was from Mary from Mexico. Nice to meet you, Mary from Mexico. Thanks for staying young. By the way, I'm going to drop the link. I forgot to start the bot, but if you want to support the show, you go to coldbeer.fund. Coldbeer.fund is the new website. It's got all the donation links there.
Yeah, I got to put that on my other thing because I have the old one, so I turned it off, but I got to figure out how to do that. For the, I have to show me again.
That was my 2 clips. What have you had going on this week, Sage?
Oh, not much. So I did witness the big news from Libert. I thought that was pretty hysterical, to be completely honest. Because if I was, this Frank speech thing has got to be, I didn't even know what it was, right? I had no idea what it was. So it has got to be, if he seriously had meetings with these people and they brought him on to put his channel on there, there's no way they watched his channel, right?
Oh, I mean, he's one of the most requested content producers for Frank speech, I think.
Because I'm thinking to myself, like, we put a lot into, like, when he comes on, he doesn't even have lighting. He's blacked out on some of his episodes. Just today, on his one episode, it's all, he doesn't have the proper lighting. His green screen is horrible. There's times that he's doing a show and there's, somebody punched the wall in and they're filling holes in the wall. And I just think to myself, if I was going to run a legitimate channel and have legitimate people on there, at some point you got to be able to say no to somebody who has no concept of what they're doing.
You don't like the floating head motif?
Nope. I don't think that's when you're trying to be legit, when you're trying to be a Sean Hannity. I've never seen Hannity with a floating head. Now, I could be wrong.
Now, to be fair, he doesn't want to be Sean Hannity. He wants to be sitting across the desk from Sean Hannity.
So he wants to be floating next to Sean Hannity, basically. Just
they'll probably just set his head in a chair and then push it up to the table.
I just think that if it's one of those things that it's time to do some upgrading, time to do some learning, and time to, if that's the best you're starting to bring over to this Frank speech, it says a lot about Frank's speech, right? I mean, I went out and spent money because I wasn't, my video wasn't that good here. My computer wasn't producing a good picture, right? We were trying to figure it out, right? So I upgraded my internet. I connected it, I spent, up the money for that, bought another computer for a little bit more processing power because I wanted it to be a good picture, a good video. I have my, my microphone and my Rodecaster for good sound. And that's what legitimate people do to do this. So to me, when like I said, I watched the great news for him to be on, suffocated by pillows. It was one of those things that are they truly just grabbing anybody? I mean,
I guess. I mean, what would you rather them have? He's the top of the top.
Well,
the tip of the top,
right?
The tippity top.
They're going full fake news. They're going full crap. I mean, it's exactly, where the hell's Trump? That's what I want to know. If Trump's in charge, right? And Trump's in charge of everybody. He's in charge of China. He's in charge of Russia. He's in charge of Ukraine. He's in charge of Africa and all those countries. And he's in charge of Europe and all this stuff. If he's the leader, he's the boss. At what point, and he's all they're waiting for is people to wake up. Well, you're about to see some serious stuff start happening in China. You're about to see some serious stuff start happening here with logistics and food and goods and things like that.
And snake venom.
What's that?
Snake venom.
Well, at what point does he step in and say, okay, enough people have suffered, if any?
So that's the reason Phil's resigning from Q, is because he wasn't told that this was a gay op, as some would call it on the internet, and it was actually out here to hurt people. Yeah, this is I am actually, is the grift ending?
Am I confusing to follow? Do I seem retarded or ADD?
Oh, no. To put it into perspective, Frog News was also featured on Frank's speech. Thank you very much for that donation, Rising Phoenix. We appreciate the donation and the support. Frog News also featured there. So,
I mean,
that makes more sense.
It does. He's carrying people that are caught straight out lying. He's consider them legitimate people. He brings these people on, and it's like, wow. if they're not filling the barrel of people that they're just going to basically cancel, I don't know what to tell you, boys. I don't know what to tell you, because it is, you kind of want to look to the right and look to like I had to do. I had to look to the right and left. I'm like, okay, I made the wrong move. I got to go. I'm just shocked at some point. You know what? I almost thought to myself, you know, we should absolutely apply and see if we can get a show on there just to have content bashing the other shows.
I just want them to collapse. Like I would love to have a censorship free or better censorship to where they just block stuff that's illegal and blah blah blah, and they was able to maintain and keep it, had enough people on it to where it still had advertisers and could function and blah blah blah. It's kind of like a a dream. Really, it's not going to work out like that. But I don't want those two, and they're already censoring over stupid
am I
shit.
confusing to follow? Do I seem retarded or ADD?
Sage, it was easy to fool Frankie's speech. Hey, can I direct my flying monkeys to attack and bring all my grifter channels back in? I'll have to grab the rest of that. But that was a donation that just came in. Thank you for the donation. That's from support. That was from Mike Poof. All my grifter channels back in line. A sucker is born every minute with 2 6-packs. Thank you very much, Mike Poof. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation and support. So it's easy to get on.
For me, it's like, oh, it's jealous. You're jealous. Actually, I'm not. It brings me to the point of complete disgust. I'm completely disgusted with the lack of intelligence, the lack of just people just have absolutely no common sense, none at all, none at all. Go ahead.
Chad, if you're waiting on Trump to step in and shut it down, I had hope for that at one time. He's not going to. It's not going to happen. He's been told, this is probably 20% of your viewer base. If you come in, they're never going to vote for you, or they're going to, it could do this, it could do that, but you're going to lose in the polls. You're already behind, blah blah blah, shit like that. He's not gonna address it other than to play dumb and say, oh well, they stop people who are after kids, right? That sounds good. Who wants people going after kids? Like the way he's already addressed it before. That's all you're going to get.
Right. And I mean, you said it perfect too when you said that it's going to be later on what he's going to basically say. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday's show? Did you say it on yesterday's show? Basically, he's going to be like, we got to make sure we don't lose this election, or however you said it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or this, and that is. That's what it's for. It's at a point now where he came out and said, oh, Putin, this is a great job for Putin. And then he's like, I don't think that's Putin. He doesn't look the same. Oh, now this is genocide. Well, which is it, bro? Which is it? Where are you at? Where are you at right now? You got allegedly, I haven't looked into it, but there's been a video I saw today of the people screaming in China. I do know that trucks were shut down. People possibly jumping out windows. Videos of things being done to animals, people being thrown into stuff. You legitimately have this stuff going on. And at some point, if Trump was in charge, when does he stop people from jumping out windows?
Is that his job to stop people from jumping out windows?
Everybody's submissive to Trump. He's in charge of everybody, I heard.
Okay.
So at what
they capitulated.
Exactly. So at what point does he basically take charge? It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. And what happens if, like I said, my biggest thing is what happens if he doesn't get elected or doesn't even have a possibility of running? What happens?
They're going to freak out.
Yeah. And it is just everything you bring to them. Now they're saying you have to have an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, don't watch it. If you don't have an open mind, don't watch it. It's like, why don't you just say, look, if you don't have common sense and you want to actually use your brain, please don't watch this because it won't work for you.
So
I don't know.
You mentioned Putin a second ago. Do you know that there's a multiple Putin theory? That there are at least 6 different Putins running around.
We're going with 6? That's the number we're going with?
At least. And that
that sounds about right.
And that I wish I could find this. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it for a second.
Did Fall make this up?
No. There's a thing. It was going around on Twitter a while back when this first happened. And it was like all the different Putins and who they meet with and when they're used and when they come out. Yeah, to see it. Putin.
I mean,
body doubles.
Here's my logic, right? We as a country needed a Trump to come out and just kind of smack us in the back of the heads, right? Because that's, as a country, as a thing, we needed somebody to come out and break the norm, and he broke the norm and he ran. But I actually have a couple questions for you, right? Now that he broke the norm, is he he's not the guy to fix stuff. He's the guy to break the norm, right? He's not, he's gonna, okay. You have a guy that breaks the door down, right? You have a breacher, right? But then that breacher turns and the rest of you guys go in, correct?
Yeah, he's the last man in usually.
Right. He's the breacher. Trump was the breacher. He's not the guy that I want the next 4 years, because he's only going to have 4 years. He can't run again. And we're going to go with the non-dictator theory, that he can't just stay. He's the breacher. He's not the fixer at this point. And he already broke the door. So now it's time to let somebody else.
I wish he would just so I hope Biden runs again, because not many people are happy with him, even his own party. And I wish Trump would just endorse someone who is still ready to do some radical shit, but kind of maintained himself a little bit better. Didn't have so many weird ties to weird people and dirty secret this, that. I wish he'd just endorse somebody. But I don't think he can or will, because he's the type of guy, just like I don't think he'll ever admit in any way, shape, or form that he gave up on the election. I don't think he can. I don't think he has the mentality to say either I lost or it's over or there's no chance, I'm not coming back, none of that. Like, he'll still be running, and I guarantee you while he's running in 2024, he'll be like, they stole it from us last time. I should have won it, but I guess we're going to have to do it again. I guarantee you that'll be in his campaign.
I mean, and people are like, well, then who do you pick? I don't know who I pick. All I know is I would prefer someone that sounded like, I've said this before, right? Like Obama or not, which I didn't vote for him or anything. Dude could speak. Dude sounded intelligent. He could carry himself. He was you know what I'm saying? When you're a leader of a country, unfortunately, you're going to have that presence.
You could probably get Putin to run.
It could get, which one?
I bet you he's got the QAnon's vote. If Trump come out and said, I want you to vote for Vladimir Putin for U.S. president, I guarantee you they all would.
I'm putting a poll up right now. I'm putting a poll up on my channel. Talk about this while I put the poll up, because I got to hear about this.
The conspiracy theory of Vladimir Putin's body double explained. This is from The Grunge. And it says, controversial Russian President Vladimir Putin, the man behind the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, has held power in his country in one form or another pretty much since the year 2000. And that seems unlikely to change anytime soon. That makes the former KGB agent. A lot of people didn't know that. I was actually with the KGB. The longest serving Russian leader since Stalin. According to the BBC, it's naturally risky when a world leader is revealed as Putin. Oh, I lost my place. As Putin at both at home and abroad. Employing a body double could be effective safety measure for Putin. But does he really use one? One unconfirmed conspiracy theory says that's the case. It's not. I could not read with this shit flashing beside me. That's some type of weird tick I've got. It's not without merit that Vladimir Putin uses a body double for certain photo ops and public appearances. So much so, a reporter from the Russian TASS news agency showed the Russian president all the internet search results relating to whether or not that might be true. The journalist even asked Putin in person, "Are you real?" To which Putin responded, "Yes." According to France 24, but if he were really a double, that's exactly what he would say. To be clear, there's really no evidence Putin protects himself with a lookalike. But here's the different ones. Okay, this one's called There's Precedent, and this is the one that says, although there's really no proof, he uses a body double and lookalikes for certain photo ops and
Sure.
public appearances. The idea that a contentious world leader might make such a move is not so outlandish. Similar rumors have swirled around about a number of unpopular leaders and monarchs for decades. Stalin himself is said to have used one, so you can see where Putin's advisor may have swapped the idea. Otherwise, here are just a few of the most common examples of the supposed world leader lookalikes, according to WIDN News, ranging from the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who some say, in fact, may have died, to Britain's Queen Elizabeth and former American FLOTUS Melania Trump. Reasons why current, former, or even dead world leaders might employ such a trick remain largely the same: to take the load off as far as public engagements and duties are concerned, or to keep themselves safe from assassination attempts. Another common theme is that the leader themselves has suddenly died, and a doppelganger is found by the regime in power. So this is the Second Chechen War. Rumors that the Russian president Vladimir Putin put himself with a body double began right
Am
after
I
he took office for
confusing
the
to
first
follow?
time during the Russian-Chechen
Do I
War.
seem retarded or ADD?
Oh, dang, even the white-hat Vlad is a clone. Jungle Jet, thank you very much for the donation and support. The white-hat Vlad is a clone. So during the First Chechen War, sometimes called the Second Chechen War, or the Russian-Chechen War, sometimes called the Second Chechen War, according to history, this highly contentious Russian military offensive in late 1999. Putin ordered his forces into the former Soviet Republic, ostensibly to support separatists wishing to remain loyal to Moscow, and in retaliation for alleged Russian terrorist attacks said to be perpetrated in Russia by Chechen militants. In the view of many international scholars and policymakers, though, Putin's move was essentially a flex on this recently liberated young democracy. Imagine that. He's done this before. And the Muslim majority that wished to distance themselves from the Kremlin, per The Guardian. Because of this, Putin risked retaliation, and the idea really was floated to employ imposters from public appearances to keep the Russian president safe. He turned it down. As Radio Free Europe reports, Putin said, "I refuse to have doubles." It was during the most difficult time of the fight against terrorism. So here's one. So what they look at is like his nose and his chin structure and his mouth. Sometimes his ears, of course, always a good clone with the ears. But here's one of the pictures. This is probably the one that's most accepted.
What lens are they?
There's a rumor he died in 2015.
What lens? What camera lens are they using on these photos? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Despite this denial, there's nothing like rumors that Putin secretly died field of the frame that the person we may see may or may not be real. That's exactly what happened in 2015 when Russian Vladimir Putin disappeared from public view in March of that year, only to emerge some days later, according to Vox. The theories as to what happened to the Russian president ranged from illness and death to a sort of paternity leave. He may have simply taken time off for the birth of a love child. The birth of a love child. I thought they had all the pictures here together. Although this is just more about the theory. Let me see if I can find the pictures right quick. This just kind of explains the theory.
Is that Putin bottom?
I know there's one with like 6 pictures altogether. I think a YouTuber covered it. Hold on, let me close this right quick, and I'll grab this other YouTuber that covered it. He showed the meme on his thing, and they went in depth. The last one I saw, they went in depth of like which Putin goes to like meet world leaders, which Putin does press, which Putin does this, which Putin does that. Let's see if I can find that article again.
Being a leader of a country is a hard job. You know, you need to delegate your services among other leaders.
Well, I mean, like celebrities use body doubles and stuff, but I mean, I obviously don't go for clones, and I wouldn't put it past him. Like if he's like in a war-torn country, or even somebody in his country that doesn't mean anything to him, to like use a double to like meet with them, compared to like meeting with the fucking NATO or the European Union or something like that. That would be a different level than meeting with the local governor or from somewhere in your own country.
Right.
Let's see if I can find the one with the pictures again. I know, I'm pretty sure Destiny covered it at one time and showed like the meme of it.
I don't know. I understand this stuff happens, right? You do have doubles and that stuff happens. That's 100%, like you said. But it's one of those things that it's like, what is? There's 6 of them and they're all running the country. Yeah, he seems like that type. He seems like that type to say, yeah, we can all share it.
There's a bunch of rumors that supposedly come from Kremlin insiders that they that he recently had like a stint of like cancer, and some of the steroids and steroids and medication he's on has made him like irritable, and he freaks out over germs, like he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
I showed the picture one time on my stream of how he sits at like a 45-foot long table and makes other people sit at the other side during like meetings while COVID was going on.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of body doubles then. Damn it.
Hey, real quick, do you see the era of Trump almost possibly like the era of Christ back when that happened?
Jesus Christ?
Yes. Are we at that point with Trump, basically? That same type of... I see people in the chat, and I'm not picking anybody, but it's like, first it's going to be Don, and then it's going to be Don Jr., then it's going to be Ivanka, and then it's going to be... What's his son's name? Will his son be old enough?
I hope not.
What's his son? What's his son's name? The chess player. The young one.
Oh,
Start with a B.
Barron.
Then it's going to be Barron. By that time, it's going to be Barron, and we're just going to go through the whole Trump family all the way down, and that. I mean, is that where we're at with this? I mean, I don't know. I seen that.
Sounds like a monarchy.
Yeah, that seems to be that thing of it. You know,
I don't know. I honestly, I don't even hope he runs again. I'm not okay with. I mean, obviously, it's kind of like a lot of times it ends up being the lesser of two evils that you have to vote for. And obviously, Joe Biden hasn't done a good job, and he says he plans on running again. But I don't want to have to vote for Trump. I don't want to vote for Trump. I want to vote for someone that Trump endorses, that the Q-tards will jump on, and do shit like that. But I don't fucking want to vote for him.
No,
I'm not okay with him anymore. After everything since the election happened, I'm not okay with anything that he's done.
No, I'm not either. At some point, you have to go back to leading, and I just don't see him as a leader. He's just not as a leader at this point.
Yeah, he is. I don't even know what to say about him. Like the I love you, you're special, go home. Never addressing that. Never going after actual things he could have done, like states unilaterally changing laws without using the legislator. I'm not happy with everything he's done since he's been out of office. I'm not happy about any of it.
No, I'm not either. And like I said, he breached the door. But that was it. Right. That was it. The policy in regards to the trade thing with China. Guess what? That created a huge vacuum. Pulling out of the Trans-Pacific one created a huge vacuum that he should have took care of. He didn't. And now the largest trade deal ever done, and we're not included. And that was because there was a vacuum. There was a spot that basically China said, well, we'll fill this void. We'll fill this spot. You guys need a trade? We'll fill it. And they filled it. Some of the supply chain issue is due to that. He was in office during that administration. We knew in 2015 that this was a possibility. He puts this trade thing in effect. It was a partial cause of some of the supply chain breakdown because of I have to go into it. Nobody thought about that. It's just a lot of stuff that he had no problem saying we're going to fix this, but he couldn't think about the ripples down the road that change was going to cause. Does that make sense? Like there are ripples. When you do this, you have to also worry about, well, what's going to happen down here? And that for him, he never even either didn't think about or didn't have anybody around him that said, hey, if we do this, we're going to have a void here and we're going to have a supply chain issue here and we're going to have some stuff here. So what should we do about that? And it just, he had no problem breaching things. He had no problem lifting regulations and opening things up, but he wasn't, when it came to those other ripples, he wasn't good at that. Trying to stay nice here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he had any he had all the short-sightedness, but none of the being able to predict the future, or not even predict the future. I guess I said that wrong. Being able to just guess what this was going to cause.
Right. He couldn't see the long-term effect of things. And, that's something that he should. And now it's hard. So you have advisors come in and say, look, I want to do this. What's going to happen if I do this? Well, this is when this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Well, how do we fix that? And that wasn't anything that, he looked at in any way. And and here we are now with problems. And all these problems his? No, they're not all his, but there's some things that could have been at least started to be repaired before, and they just weren't.
Oh, I got the real shit now, Sage. I went deep into a Russian message board. I'm probably being doxxed as we speak to get this theory. Let's check this out.
Oh Lord.
And
remember, part of the thing that they gave $600 extra a week for people to stay home. Yeah, that wasn't very smart.
That didn't happen under Trump.
It did, actually. He even said that he did it for the purpose that people would go back to their jobs when it was over.
I was being a smart ass, but
I know you were.
There is some validity to it. It really happened under Jared Kushner, but that's a whole different story with a different group of people.
Yeah, true.
So here is this. This is from forum.msk.ru. It says, somehow I already wrote that if you type the word twins in Rambler search engine, then the first answers prompted by Rambler will be Putin doubles of proof. So this is translated from Russian, so it's not gonna make perfect sense. And Putin doubles. And the fifth one is Putin doubles photo comparison. Moreover, according to the first hint, Rambler is like their version of Google, by the way. Throws out 2 million answers according to the second, 20 million according to the third, 320,000 photos. When the white face finally dies out due to the epidemic of stupidity that has gripped it, according to which the person of the white race individually with his mind is no longer able to come to any conclusion and is only able to stupidly repeat what the crowd is babbling about. Then in other races' history of doubles, Putin and Yeltsin will be an example of the greatest mass idiocy. It is precisely idiocy and not an example of delusion, since even for Yeltsin they selected twins only relatively similar by amputating their fingers. But for Putin, they are not shy at all. The faces playing Putin do not look like him at all, nor in voice. So this is a guy from Russia who's actually figured this out.
Of course he has.
And it says resolution of the State of Duma. On the formation of the Commission of the State of Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation to verify the information contained in the issues of the newspaper Zavtra, number 21 for 1998 and Duel number 22 for 1997 regarding the exercise of powers of the President of the Russian Federation by Boris something Yeltsin. In the newspaper Zatsva number 21 for 1998, Duel number 22 for 1997, the articles Twins, Is Yeltsin Alive? Were published respectively, which dealt with the impossibility of Boris Yeltsin's participation in the final stage of the 1996 campaign on the election of President of the Russian Federation for health reasons, for a possible subsequent death of Boris Yeltsin, the inauguration in 1996, and the further performance of the duties of the President of the Russian Federation by an unknown person who looks similar to the former President of the Russian Federation. That is his physical double. So they're talking about a news story that already picked up that Yeltsin had doubles back in 96 and 97. Then there's a couple cited works. The resolution shall enter into the force today. The resolution is being published. All right, so here's the different ones. It says, from the editor, we will not support, refute, or blah, 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 or Munchkin's review of the problem of the President twins. You will not give quite a few official photos of Vladimir Putin from different periods where the pattern of lines on his right palm is clearly visible. One even shows a chirological analysis of this pattern. Unlike facial features and specific signs, no one imitates the palm pattern, and this is hardly possible even with the current level of plastic surgery. And the hand of each person is quite unique, and the changes very little over the course of a life. So we look in to draw conclusions from these. So this is the first picture that has him here. Can I open this in a new tab? Sure. This is the first picture that has him here where they broke down his hand line pattern in the palm of his hand, which I will say we have a pretty matching hand. So there's that.
Whoa.
I matched Putin's hand, yeah.
Oh.
I shouldn't have zoomed in so much. All right, so the next one is him waving, so that's his hand up again, and the lines have changed somewhat. Like this palm line is different compared to this one. Like they go in more instead of like rounded more. Here's another one. Look at this different face, though. From there to there, there's a different face, different palm lines. Right? That one almost has a V in it. This one doesn't have a V. It has these two marks here. Here he is holding up both hands in the snow, like praise Jeebus. So that's a good one. That's a good one for him. Where we see like almost like a parted V. We see a line that doesn't go all the way across and another line that doesn't go all the way across, same hand. This looks very similar to that hand, this one and this one, but look at the difference in the width of his nose, like the bridge of his nose and his eyes from this picture or this picture. This is a much thinner nosed Mr. Putin here.
Yeah.
Clearly not the same guy. Now look at this one. This is a fat as fuck face Putin. Like that's not him. Who is that guy? Who is that guy compared to that guy, Sage? Who are these guys?
I don't know.
Are you
I
telling
don't
me they believe they're the same ones?
Is it possible they're doubles? Sure. Is it possible that it's a different lens and a bad angle? Let me tell you something. You take a bad angle and shot, and you could make people look completely different. And anybody that's been a photographer or had their picture taken by a friend and said, "Oh God, I can't believe I don't look like that, do I?" Well, it's called, you can, depending on the angle of the shot, you can either get, Steve from Glamour Shots would know. You can either get, a great shot or you could get a horrible shot based on lighting and angle and lens.
Glamour Shots is actually a all male review strip club. So I don't know if you're under the impression it was a photographer, but it's not.
Oh, I thought the Glamour Shot was the Glamour Shot, but so
No,
no,
not at all.
Well, I didn't know where you were going.
Anyways, clearly this is not, you can tell from right here, this is not the same Putin. These are different Putins. They're all different Putins.
Think so?
But just subscribed. It's Linda, but you can't spell it, Linda. You can't spell it. It's L stars. No, Linda. Have you ever Googled your name and then Glamour Shots? I'm gonna do you. Hold on. This is the thing that used to be the thing to do. So I'm gonna type in Sage.
Yeah.
Glamour Shot. And then you try to find what some of the funniest results are of like people who had their photos made back in the 90s and shit. This was the first result. I'm not even lying. I will show you and prove it. This was the very first result for Sage Glamour Shots.
That's good.
Here we go. Here's your big reveal. Drum roll, please.
I don't have one.
There you go.
Wow.
That is Sage's Glamour Shot. That is literally the first result right here. The next one's a little bit better. If you prefer this one, you're hiding all your jubblies underneath a cowboy hat. A cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So back in the day, the thing used to be to type in your first name and then Google Glamour Shots and see what popped up.
Nope,
Who thought these were a good idea?
I don't know. I have no
Priceless
idea.
Stitching said, I had some done for my senior pictures. Ooh, let's see them.
Wow.
Send
What's
them
that?
on over.
Where's yours? Have you typed in your will?
Yeah. Let me shut it down to make sure like no nudity pops up, but I will. Mine are going to be males though.
Think so?
Of course. This is the first one that pops up, which honestly, this guy could probably be my spirit animal. Not even gonna lie. Let me turn on the magnifier for this.
Thank you, Mrs. Mo. Miss Mo.
Let's see. Main display. So this is the first one that pops up for William Glamour Shots, and honestly, I'm digging it. I
Yes.
like it.
I see the resemblance, actually.
He's in a wicker skull chair.
Yeah, I actually see the resemblance.
Holding an M16. That is it.
Yeah. Actually, I would like for you to take the same shot. Can you take the same shot? Do you have one of those chairs?
Here's a good one. There is that guy's clearly served in the cavalry.
I actually would like you to take that shot. If we can get you taking that shot, that would be cool.
That's a good one. This looks like, you know what this reminds me of? This looks like a shot that Will Ferrell would take for the movie Step Brothers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look at that.
I bet you that was his. I bet you that was definitely he did. Wow. That's awesome. You could actually put Will Ferrell's face. It wouldn't be hard because that's definitely it right there.
That's a good one there. I like that one. Oh. Anyways, you ever had glamour shots made, Sage? You're old enough to have glamour shots made.
I have not.
I wasn't a twinkling in my father's eyes when glamour shots were a thing.
I bet
that's
you were.
a pretty good one.
Wow.
This is obviously a remake that somebody did it cringy to be bad. I don't think this is a real one.
I bet you did.
I almost guarantee it's not. Holding his son and then the sun setting in Vietnam.
I bet it is.
Not. He's got a Sharpie tattoo on his chest or on his stomach.
No, I bet you it is. That's full real right there. Without doubt.
It's not.
I bet you did.
Where does this come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Tiger Droppings website. Oh, yeah, it's a message board. Somebody's making fun of it. Doesn't look like you spelled Karen correctly. Yeah, this was a setup. That was fake. Let's do who we got in the chat. Let's do Johnny was the first name I saw. Let's do Johnny's glamour shots. See what he's got. Johnny glamour shot. Oh, Johnny, I found you. This is literally, I kid you not, this is the first result. This is the absolute first result on Google, Johnny. So this has to be you.
This show is planned.
That is you with a feathered boa, my friend. That's absolutely you.
Wow.
Johnny. Here's Johnny.
Wow.
Oh, that is a good one. Johnny Glamour Shots, Word Funk. There's actually a bunch of this guy. He's got all these suggested shots done through here. I'm afraid to scroll too far. I don't know what the.
I'm gonna go blind.
He's gonna be there, but
I have a question. I think I can't remember which show it was, but you said that I was threatened.
You were threatened?
Yeah,
with a glamour shot?
Not with the glamour shot. I guess, I don't know. You mentioned it on a channel there, and I forgot to ask you about that. Somewhere on YouTube, were we threatened?
Just the guy saying that he would shoot trolls or whatever.
Oh, just that guy? Yeah, I already confronted that guy.
Johnny Glamour Shots. Apparently this guy was a wrestler is the reason it keeps popping up. Johnny Glamour Shots, you remember that?
No.
Somebody said doxed. Yeah, this is Johnny from Australia. It's Johnny. No, it was just the guy that said that they were the same as Play-Doh guys and that he would shoot them, and if he knew where you lived, he would go to your house and shoot you right now.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy. I went on his show. And that was the craziness.
And made friends. It was awkward.
I thought there was somebody in Robert's chat.
Robert. I don't know if you saw that. I actually want to play that clip. Fuck it. So they've convinced Robert, who runs a YouTube channel, who's obviously has medical issues.
Yeah, he said that he has problems. He
has mental problems, right?
Right. And I like Robert.
They went on his show. Let me change into my main thing here. Actually, let me do something else first. Let me grab it right quick.
Yeah,
I don't know what's fixing to pop up. But they convinced him that if someone come on his show that he didn't invite or that he didn't know and come onto his panel, that he was instantly hacked, and that being hacked, that he was going to lose everything. And like it honestly, like I don't have a whole lot of like sympathy or empathy for anybody. Like I just look out for myself and my family and fuck everybody else. It made me feel bad the way they like yelled at him. They're like, "Oh my God, you're hacked now. I told you shouldn't." And he's like, "What did I do wrong? What happened? I didn't mean to." And they're just fucking berating him over it.
First of all, you don't hack with a Mac. Let's set that. You just don't, because even though your computer might have the capability to do it, it's your everybody else's Windows, and you're just not gonna. Anyways, second thing, if you come on somebody's stream, you're not hacked. You're not hacking their computer. Now, if you don't ever close that stream and that stream still exists, well, I can still click that stream from the past and come on because that stream is open. But I'm not hacking. Nobody gets hacked by coming through StreamYard. I mean,
Are you
StreamYard would
sure?
have lawsuits galore if people were getting hacked.
So people that you think would understand this a little bit better. Cam told me one time that someone came onto his StreamYard and hacked one of his mods' computers.
No.
Someone came onto his StreamYard and hacked one of his moderators' computers.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't. If this was happening, StreamYard would absolutely be out of business because there would be lawsuits galore. You cannot hack by coming through your StreamYard and coming up on your panel. It just doesn't happen.
No, I think they did it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Once
you come on StreamYard, you're automatically hacked. There's no question about it.
No, you're not. You're not. Not true.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Clearly they're hacked.
Clearly. They're not. Not it.
Okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show this. And again, I'm not picking on Robert. He can have a channel. He can do whatever he wants. I think it's the people around Robert that are abusing him and that are so Robert comes on and says, I'm not this. And guys, are you forcing me to do this? But he's also in the state that he wouldn't be able to make that if he has to ask it, then he's not capable of making that judgment. Like that's the way it works. Like if someone, like when I go to my VA appointment, they ask me if I'm okay to be in charge of my own finances when I get my disability check. Are you okay to manage your own finances? If I have to ask someone else, am I okay to manage my own finances? The answer is no. Like there's no question. If I have to call my wife and say, hey, is it okay if I handle my own bank account? Then the answer is no. So when Robert says, you guys aren't controlling me, are you? The answer is yes. He's not capable of making that decision.
Correct.
All right, so they were having a stream. Everybody was talking, and Robert talks about someone coming in the back room that he doesn't know. So here's how that goes.
I could have came back up, though. I just want to give everybody an opportunity that wants to come up.
I understand.
Maria
By the way, lovely panel. Appreciate all you guys coming on.
said she's had a headache for 2 days, too.
Can you say something in chat, please? I can't see who you are.
Don't let them up, Robert. Kick them.
No, they have a face.
So they had told him before, they don't have a camera, don't let them on. So he's saying, no, they have a camera. And they're saying, no, don't let him on, kick him. Well, they have a camera. That's what you told me the rules were. If they have a camera, they can come on.
Right.
I can't picture it.
What's the name, Robert?
Thanks, Margaret. I'll bring him up and see who it is. It's a face.
Yes, Z-Man's Robert.
Have a wrench.
All right, so somebody called in, and they're just kind of sitting there quietly.
Oh, can I ask who this is?
It sounds like they answered, but it was hard to hear. They said Travza.
Yeah.
Can I ask who you are, please?
I think I've met him before.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen him before as well.
Travza.
Travza.
Do you know anybody?
By the way, the title says Travza Tranny. Travza Tranny. I don't know who that is, but it sounds like a probably Eastern Europe, maybe.
Maybe.
Anybody out here?
Not that's on the panel right now.
Where are you from?
Tennessee.
Do you have a purpose?
Oh, we all have a purpose.
I didn't know any of us had a purpose on here. I thought it was just anybody who wanted to come up could come up.
Okay.
I don't know. We're just being aware. Yes.
I'm a 90mm pop. Jesus Christ. It's okay, guys. She is beautiful. We don't have to just keep throwing compliments at her. We get it.
What lens are they using?
All of them.
Some crazy things going on, and we just have to make sure.
Right.
I do intel.
I don't know who you think I have 11 viewers? If only. Back to the good old days.
Who are you talking to?
I
It's
got
main chat.
a call. Someone's call.
Facebook chat.
Yeah, no
Robert.
problem. Go ahead and get that. It's probably important.
Okay. Take the call.
Do you have a channel? Is it Travis? Is that what you said, or Trevor?
Travza.
Trabza.
Travza.
Oh no, I don't.
I don't think people from Facebook know about our YouTube channel. 11 viewers. Shame on you guys. You are a joke. Okay.
Hey, knucklehead, head over to YouTube.
There's
Swear to
11 people over there too, so it's 22. Get your facts straight.
Exactly.
Don't ever go live, really.
He doesn't go live, really. Okay.
Do you have a filter for over your avatar?
Diamond, I just got a phone call. I gotta. Bella told me.
She also admitted to being the side chick to her son's friend.
What?
Oh. Ugh. But How do you put a big ass front, 2 fucking sides, and a whole back just on the side chick? Gorillas in the
He's
Mist.
a bad person.
Well, what? Robert, kick him.
I did.
All right, so Robert got a phone call that said, he's a bad. Bella called and said he's a bad person.
Bad
person. Coming up right
Why
now.
am I a bad person?
Bye.
Bella's a bitch.
Oh, shots fired. He did say Bella's a bitch. So
I did hear that.
it's rough.
All right, you're gone.
Kick him, Robert.
I'm trying.
Nah.
They are literally screaming, "Kick him, Robert!" Robert's saying, "I'm trying," and then of course you get the almost required at this point, "Nana boo boo," because that is a requirement when you can't be banned from a panel.
Standard operation procedure there.
You're gone.
Kick him, Robert.
I'm trying.
Nah, boo boo.
You're so childish.
Seriously.
Grow up, dude.
Yeah, grow up.
So obviously a troll that come on and said it was doing fine, did everything fine until someone said that he had to be kicked off. Then he did call someone a bitch, and then they just freaking grow up. You're such a child. Nana boo boo. Which whatever, It's a troll. It happens. People calling on our panel all the time. The link, I literally dropped the link like 100 times. Any troll could call in. Got it.
Right.
That's part of it. It's just like blocking people in the chat that you don't want to listen to. Got it. Like it's not that big a fucking deal. But what happens afterwards is they literally berate him over and over again for just accepting the call, and he's following their rules. If he has a camera, he can come on. But so listen to this after they kick him.
God bless you.
And Bella is not no bitch.
You just got hacked, okay?
No.
Hawk just went
And Bella
completely
is not no
down.
bitch.
You are not hacked.
Listen,
You cannot get hacked by somebody popping up on StreamYard. There would be lawsuits galore if people were getting hacked by bringing someone up on StreamYard. The fact that Bella's even saying this is either she's lying to him to scare him, or she's an idiot. I mean, that's just the truth. So either you're lying to scare somebody who has some issues, or you yourself aren't that brightest of a bulb. It's one or the other. Which is it? Bella, click in if you don't mind. Which is it? Go ahead.
listen. You just got hacked, okay? Hawk just went completely down. Listen, you just got hacked. Oh my God.
Well, she's not bright enough to turn off her YouTube, so.
Robert.
I told you not to let him up, Robert.
Look at him. Clearly, he's upset. He's distraught. Like he thinks he messed up, and they just keep piling on.
Texting you and telling you, Robert. I was telling you in chat. No, they took my whole account. They hacked us. You're now going to be in trouble, and it's hard to get out of that. Oh, Robert.
What being in trouble?
To tell him that you're going to be in trouble with who? The internet police? The YouTube special agents? Like, why would you even come on and say this to someone who doesn't understand it? Even if you don't understand it, just don't fucking say it. Why are you causing undue stress and worry on this guy? Like, this is disgusting that she would even come in and say this shit.
Like I said, either she knows or she's not, or she doesn't know, right? But if she knows and she's only doing this to torture him because somebody came on that she said don't let on, and now she's what, torturing him? Is that a good time? You know, that she's embarrassing him. She just called him. So now she's embarrassing him in public on this channel when she could have just called him and said, Robert, do me a favor, end this stream and call me on the phone. But she doesn't. She doesn't. She makes a scene out of it for what? For her enjoyment? For what? What scene was this possible? Let me tell you something a little bit about business. You praise in public. You punish in private. Well, what you did was wrong. Inappropriate and wrong. You had his phone number. You called him on the phone. Why couldn't you just say stayed on the phone with him? But you didn't. You wanted to make a scene. You wanted to do this. You wanted to embarrass him. Well, good job. You got it done.
It keeps going too.
Well, what are they going to do to me?
They hacked your computer. I literally have been going through a hell of a time. Anyways, Robert, I'm at a loss for words at the moment.
Well, right now, Bella, he's in backstage waving.
Yeah, you know what? Just kick him. Kick him from backstage. You can block him. Go to the 3 little dots and block him. Do not let anybody up on your panel if you get this fixed after this, because once you get out of this, you're locked out of YouTube and you're locked out of your email and everything else. So
where does that come from?
Oh,
I have no idea where they make this up. They say it happened to Hawk, and I think they originally got it all from Travis. But like, if you guys don't know, I'm gonna click my own StreamYard link. I'm gonna drop it and then click it. Hold on just a second. If you guys don't know, when you come into StreamYard, actually, let me do it this way. I'm gonna do it in an incognito browser. New incognito window, and then I'll do Windows V, and then I'll drop my own link. This is the same link I've been dropping in chat. So if I go into this link,
right,
it brings this up, and all the Zoom, anything else is just like this. Restream. You have to allow access to stuff. Allow.
Now you're not allowing it. You're allowing your system to have that information.
To use
not their
it allows the browser to use your camera and microphone. Correct. It wants you to enter a name, and then you can enter the studio. And I gotta mute it. But so like when you're backstage, like you can't even put yourself up on panel. Someone has to let you on panel. And if I go into the other one and let myself on panel, let me grab it.
Like Will can log into mine and I can log into his. We're admins for each other. So he can bring somebody up on panel on mine and I can do the same. But if he was not an admin, I'm the only one that can bring somebody up on panel. Now, there's no hacking from this point because, like I said, if there was, StreamYard would be sued.
All you can do is... Damn it. All you can do is you can see the link, and if they don't change the link, then the link will be the same. We don't typically change our link unless we have to. They can unmute, they can stop their camera, they can access settings, which gives them camera, audio, and virtual background. That's it. They can share a screen. So if I hit share, I can either share a slide, a video file, or share screen. And then that's it. You can only put it in backstage. They have to pull it up even if they want to share. And then you've got comments and private chat if you're broadcasting. And that's it. You can't do anything from here. You can't get to anybody's email or YouTube or accounts or information. The most information you get is this link, and it's the same fucking link they just put in chat for you. So the
Right.
worst thing that you could do is if they end this show and you could call back in with the same link if they don't start a new link, if they don't refresh the link. There's literally nothing you can do here that'll harm anybody. I don't know why they do this shit
Right.
or
So
claim this
Hawk's
shit.
saying that, or if Travis is at least StreamYard, if the Hawk's saying that or Travis is saying that, that's a lie. These platforms would not be allowed. They would be sued if people were getting hacked. It's like, wake up. Wake up. Ugh.
Yeah. Here's the rest of it. They've got him so tore up he has to shut down his stream, but here he goes.
Yeah, then he mentioned me.
Oh my lordy.
We're going to have to start having people ask for permission to come up on panel, I think.
This might be my last channel. I think I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It's to shut down his channel because of it.
Robert, don't let this.
Deter
We
you.
need you. We
Yeah.
need.
It isn't even because the troll. All the troll said was the word bitch. It's because he thinks he's in trouble. He thinks he's been hacked. He thinks he's going to lose his YouTube channel. He thinks he's going to lose his email. He thinks he's going to lose everything because he's in big trouble. What the fuck does that even mean? It has nothing to do with the one troll who called in. That's something that happens with having a channel.
You have good intel. Exactly what I was saying. They're trying to make you get down in your spirit, or you'll give up. That's their win.
Hang on.
Robert,
Bella,
did you put on subscriptions only when you came on?
You'll have to go and put me as a mod again, Robert. I had to create a whole new thing. So.
Oh, that's why you weren't modded.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what the heck? She doesn't have a wrench. Is that even Bella?
No,
Like, what
I
is
just-
going on?
Yeah, nope. I haven't had time to warn anybody because I've been dealing.
I get not understanding technology. Like Miss Book Girl says, I can't blame them. I don't understand technology. I use paperback books. Sure. But then show up and say, I don't know what just happened. We'll have to figure it out. Don't come in and say, you're in trouble and you're going to have to answer to YouTube and you've lost your email and you're going to lose your YouTube channel and they're going to shut you down and you're hacked. They got all your information. A remote viewer is convinced that somehow through his chat that his email list was hacked and that everybody on his email list, because I'm assuming they got some type of spam that looked like it came from remote viewers' email, that everybody on his email list has been doxxed through his email from his YouTube chat.
Right.
They just make shit up. Like, just say, I don't know. Like, we'll get a new link. We'll get a new channel. We'll start a new video, whatever.
Right. I don't know what happened. This is what happened. It's just like, Travis. Travis, when he did his, we found out that he did it himself. Right? He did all that. They're not hacking you through this software. I mean, could somebody, not anybody that's hanging out in your YouTube feed, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, I think the biggest thing to come out was that when Zoom got real popular when the pandemic, it came out that people could, if you were like certain hackers, like high end fucking, not normal fucking people, like two goddamn people in the world, if you started sharing files with them, then they may be able to access other files while they were literally hacking with Python while they were on the stream with you. This is not something normal fucking people could possibly do. Right. No one's hacking your email or this or that. And it all comes from these claims always from another channel, like Hawk is saying it, which Hawk has his own fucking weird shit going on about his claims about his fundraiser and his prayer-a-thon that always gets taken down and hacked. And every time the man's had a prayer-a-thon, I guess Satan has come and hacked him. I don't know.
Or YouTube has just said, hey, the other thing too is what people don't understand is YouTube doesn't let you run. They won't let you record for, I think, like 10 or 12 hours because they don't want to hold all that info, right?
Hold on. This must be the Antifa channel Red talks about. Wow, all the information going down and you're picking on Z-Man. Suck my fucking Z dick.
No, click the link.
Red's
click
fucking
the link. Click
fucking douchebag.
Click the link. Click the link.
Your departure.
Oh, the nonsense on our end. We just found out this morning as Hawk went live, and
Actually, I've seen that behind the blue curtain. That's someone we know. Is that that's someone that has to do with Will Justice? I know they said Red. That's someone that has to do with Will Justice. It wasn't that old lady slut that was doing Adult Swim time over in Jeff's fucking thing, was it?
I don't know. I don't know the names. And just so you know, we're not picking on Z. I have no problem with him doing it. We are legitimately telling him you cannot be hacked, and the people on your panel are the ones that are embarrassing you and making you feel like you did something wrong.
It doesn't matter how many I said that 3 times. It doesn't matter how many qualifiers. I hope Robert has a fucking awesome channel. Why are people calling in telling him, oh, you really screwed up this time? I tried to tell you, you're in big trouble. Now you're in trouble with YouTube. Now you're going to get hacked. Now you've lost everything. Fuck off.
Pay attention. We're picking on Bella at this point. Keep up, would you?
Gone and anyway, oh man.
Everything's gone.
I'm trying to, Al Grizzle, how do I report that guy?
He has a legitimate question. Of course, no one's going to answer that.
Exactly.
Me in chat?
Oh, look at there. Just a whole field day going on here.
Yeah, but you have mods in there that are very familiar with names and everything.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, and like Liz said, do not post the link to your StreamYard anymore through public chat. You're going to have...
He's already doing shows again. The problem is the people that he continues to get around him. So I don't know Robert personally, but if I had to guess, like gun to my head, had to guess, I think he likes like the friends around it. The problem is the type of information he likes to share draws these useless fucking leeches of society to channels, and then those people become your friends because you talk to them online. You hang out with them, and the situation most people are in is like the pandemic, staying at home, blah, blah, blah. They made a lot of internet friends. I've tried to advise people, stop getting close to people you don't know on the fucking internet. They'll turn on you a heartbeat. So these same people are still on there, still giving him all the advice, still telling him what to do, still influence him very strongly to saying things like, oh, make me your admin because, you know, we're friends, and then coming on and saying shit like, you're in big trouble, you've been hacked, you got to shut it down. He is doing shows. But the worst part is it's with the exact same people.
Right.
To email people privately.
Go ahead.
I like Robert. I brought, a while ago, we tried to get him on his panel. I've been on a panel when he was on there on Jeff Riddle. I've talked to him. Like I said, I don't have an issue with him. The issue is that the people that are now like right here, what this just happened. I don't need to explain any more than you saw what happened. What do I got to say? You just watched it happen. Now, people like, what was it? The blue wall. You can ignore it, but did you seriously not just see what happened? If Robert was a relative of yours, would that be okay?
Yeah.
No.
If Robert wasn't already kind of like soured on like me, I would literally have said something like, "Hey, you need to get rid of these people." But it's not gonna. It's only gonna drive him further to that because the poison the well over there. But he doesn't need to be around these people. He needs to do a show with people who do something wrong.
And my problem is,
Linda McKenzie paid $20 tithes into the cult, just a little something for you both being in different states and still your mics actually work. Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Linda McKenzie. $20 into the cult. I appreciate it. We work on it.
Yeah, we do. We try hard. No, and my issue is that this is how bad it is. We legitimately just showed somebody attacking him, and somebody came in here and said, stop picking on him. Hey, stupid, keep up, would you?
You need to be over there in his channel defending him, saying, hey, you need not give so much leverage to these people or take so much of their advice. They're leading you down a wrong path. Everything they say is inaccurate at best.
Right.
I don't know. Anyways, here's the rest of it. It's got 4 minutes
For
left.
that one, Robert, they're getting way ahead of themselves.
Trolls, if you're out there, you better not fuck with me. So, that's all I got.
Robert, you tell him, baby. You tell him.
Well, Travio.
I can support cuss words right now because I'm in that mood too.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Bravo. Bella is not a bitch.
Oh, I don't care what they say. Seriously, they said I'm a drug addict and I had no teeth and everything else. So it's like whatever.
I don't have no teeth either. I got dentures. I'm proud of it. I don't care.
Right? Who cares? Who cares?
No.
All the
I'm gonna-
all they're trying to do is fetch for to try to upset you. Don't let them. Definitely don't let them upset you.
My
And-
whole life I've been picked on, whoever you are, so I'm used to this. I'm just here to help people with intel. I'm not here to bash
Exactly.
nobody. Leave my friends alone.
So he's mad because this all started because a person made a video that said that a couple moderators had mistreated her in a chat, and also said that a woman named Lynn Wick and the predictions she was making were all bullshit. Like, there's no need to follow her. It's just all a bunch of bullshit. And then Robert got personally offended about that. But you can't get personally offended about someone saying you're full of shit, this and that. If it's not threats of violence or showing up at your house or bringing it to the real world, you're going to have it on the internet, and you're just going to have to live with it.
Right. Hang on at the end, too. Hang on. Keep going, because I might make sure you go to the end, because I want to explain something at the end.
Why would you say hang on if you just want me to go to the end?
It's just,
I want to report you too.
I just want to reach through the screen and just choke them. I'm sorry. I'm not
Well, I
trying to
heard
be
they had a
mean.
field day last night, hitting a bunch of our channels as well. Unfortunately, they have nothing better to do with themselves, so.
You know, I got connections. I can get you in deep trouble, so you better hang tight.
Just don't say much, Robert, really, because it just feeds them. It really
All
does.
you're doing is, all you're doing is putting gasoline to the flame.
Yeah, and they enjoy this. They love to get a riot out of people, and we're like too better for that. So just let them move on.
I don't think you're too better for that. I think it was disgusting what you guys did.
Absolutely.
Have your mods handle it when they come into chat as they keep getting blocked. Just don't let anybody up on your panel. As of now, Robert, you probably are going to have the issues that we just went through. That's what they did on the Prayer-a-thon. They came up and
basically they're stream whores, right? So all they do is get somebody in their community to go live so they can just go up there and sit on the panel for 6 hours and talk shit and yell at people in chat and show off how they're the same exact size as a king mattress and shit like that. Like they're just stream whores, and they're leeches on YouTube. That's all they want to do is hang out the entire time.
Right.
And then feel like they have some power, right? Oh, I could ban you. Oh, I could get rid of you. Oh, let's kick that person. And the problem is they're so addicted to this power, they want to exert it over Robert because they know they can. They can come in and say, you're in big trouble, and he'll believe them.
we seen him back there doing stuff. We knew, and he took down the whole Prayer-a-thon at the end. When we ended it, the whole thing was gone. And then today when he tried to go up again,
That's a setting on your YouTube.
Correct. YouTube does not want you to go continuous and run it like a like a channel or a network. So 12 hours, I believe it's 10 or 12 hours, is the limit in which it will save the information. You can't upload more than 12. You have to restart and do another stream if you want to continue on. Just the way YouTube runs.
For like 3 days in a row, he had a setting selected too that it was do not post the replay. Like it makes it unlisted after the video airs.
Yeah.
For like 3 days in a row, and he kept claiming it was hacked. Let me finish this video and I'll grab whoever just called in.
All right.
it had only StreamYard didn't block him out, but they had done all kind. I'll tell you about it later. Anyways, just
tell you about it later.
Liz Griswold took care of that, and so when he closes down, if he can change passwords,
no, it's a little deeper than that, but I'll walk Robert through it. What I've learned so far, and was able to get back, but
time out. Craig just told me to stop my computer now, so sorry everybody. I'm gonna shut down right now so I can fix all this. And,
all right.
I'm gonna report. So I'm gonna report this idiot. So you have one now.
Many of them, Robert.
Oh yeah, Muscle Mania. Yeah,
you will talk.
You must be on Sage's channel. It's they said
Nikki,
open season. Open season, huh?
What's that, Bonnie?
It's me.
That was it. So basically what he's talking about is there was somebody on his chat named Bobcat something, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And Bobcat basically threatened me and you. So I basically said, all right, well, there'll be open season on Bobcat. I'm going to call him out and do what I normally do. And what I normally do is I'll grab the screenshot and I will legitimately do a video about that person and say, here we are. So Bobcat, go away, or whatever your name is. And if you're in here, click the link. Click the link. You can run your mouth in the keyboard warrior realm. Click the link. So it wasn't on Robert's channel that it was me. It was open season on him in regards to time for me to do my thing. That's how, that's how I got here with Char, and I've got here with others. Is basically I said, look, here we go. And that's what that meant. Yeah. So just so you know, it wasn't on Robert. It was on the people in his chat that were calling, saying that we needed an ass kicking.
I hope Robert has a really good channel. I hope it takes off, does whatever he wants it to do, and becomes whatever he wants. But I think he needs to get rid of a bunch of those people around him right now. They're just gonna fuck him up. Let's see who called in. Somebody named Andy. Hey, what's up, Andy?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. What's up, man?
Oh, just wanted to call in and try out the link. I haven't gone through that way yet, and
sure,
just kind of visit a little bit on some of this stuff with you guys.
Sure, what's up?
So I've talked to Sage a little bit. Sage knows who I am, I think.
Andy, are you from? Okay, yep. This is Andy from the channel we did.
That was just on the other day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Andy?
I've got a broad range of information, if you will.
Sure.
But no, I talked to Sage a little bit about this. I've actually know a few people that have been wrapped into this movement.
Right.
And so just kind of a little bit of a background. I just want to bounce stuff off and visit a little bit tonight. I don't want to get probably too deep into it just because of the time. But anyways, one thing that I've been kind of seeing is I'm actually watching some very intelligent people. And when I say intelligent people, these aren't just, they're people that have owned businesses and have done a lot of things. I've watched them get pulled into this movement through different avenues.
Right.
And so we look at, some of these people that are up that have their videos maybe aren't quite as intelligent as some of the people following, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're not the brightest people creating the content. They got smarter people that are following them.
Yeah.
Right, and I am confused on that. And so one of the there's several aspects, but one of the aspects that I've watched happen is I've looked at a lot of different ways. So the biggest thing I want to put out there for people watching is if you know somebody that is following this, the biggest thing I've found is do not put up a wall. Keep that open engagement and conversation. And the reason why I say that is these people that I know are very close to me. And for me, I don't want to put up a wall because that day of reckoning may happen. They're going to tell you it's not. But for me, I don't want to close that door. I want to continually know where they're at. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And let me ask this. You say that a lot of the intelligent people, what avenue are they finding most of it from, do you think? Is it YouTube? Is it Facebook? Is it, what, in your opinion, obviously, but from what your knowledge of it?
So I've watched several different avenues, and I'm watching this expand very quickly. We've kind of hit an inflection point. Part of that reason is we've gone from the point of just watching to the point of feeling that we need to tell people that we know what's coming. It is from their perspective. I'm talking completely from their perspective. As you guys know, they won't come on and explain their perspective, so I'm going to do the best I can from what I've watched. And so their perspective is if we don't warn these people, we got trouble coming. I don't want them to get hurt. And we're naturally that way. For me, they're so close that you see that perspective. If you've got viewers that are watching that are don't have that interaction. It's hard to see it.
Mhm.
But naturally, as people, we navigate to wanting to protect, if you will. And so there's been several trigger points. The two that I'm involved with were actually pulled in through cryptocurrencies, which quite surprised me.
Yeah.
So I actually started following this before they did. Hawk's one of the ones that you mentioned, and I followed him.
Sure.
Quite frankly, genuinely, he's a good guy. Genuinely, in my opinion. Not everybody's going to see it that way, but I've watched him. Where he got pulled in was through BLM.
Right.
There was a gentleman that he was working with. I don't know him personally, so there could be a
Right.
different motive. I don't know, but he started there and then got pulled into the Q movement, and
He was on
um,
a he was
just
on a pretty big the first time I found him, he was on a pretty big show kind of early. There's this guy named it's a black guy, and I think his first name's like Cash something. It's like Kash. And the first time I ever saw Hawk was not like with Liberty Warrior or anybody like that. It was on this guy who had like a couple 100,000 followers, who had like 60,000 viewers on a live stream. And Hawk was in there, and they brought him in as like an expert in military tactics or something. I couldn't believe that was the same guy when I saw him later on. But that was that guy ended up going to jail for the Jan 6 stuff. And then that's when Hawkeye like moved around to other places. He was arrested on January like 15th. The guy was. And I couldn't believe that.
Right, and that was a big trigger point, and that was one thing that got me into watching a lot of different stuff and trying to get an understanding. So I think that was a trigger point for a lot of people. Just trying to figure out what the heck was going on, and I think it's growing a lot faster than people really think it is. Just personally myself, is it necessarily all YouTube? No. Heck, I get a different video sent to me via text every week, so I don't know how all the algorithms work and stuff like that. These people say they have so many viewers and stuff like that, and they may be growing. I don't think they're as big as they say they are, but let's say they are. It's getting dangerous, in my opinion, I guess. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, for sure. We're
So-
kind of worried about what they're going to do when none of this comes to light. Like how long? So the best possible outcome that I see that could happen is people fall off 1s, 2s, 10s at a time. If something drastic comes off and kicks like 30, 40, 50, 60, 90% of them off this movement all at once, they're going to be angry and looking for someone to take that anger out on. Whether it's like government officials, people who disagreed with them, they're going to be looking for someone when they get that bigger group and that group mentality. So the best possible outcome is to fall off little by little, people saying, screw this, I'm out. Rather than something comes out and disproves them all to such a degree that a huge chunk of people leaves. That could be really bad.
So I don't come to the same conclusion yet. I've got to put more thought into it. The part that bothers me is we went through about a 4-week period there, where there wasn't much information coming out, and quite honestly, I thought they were losing people just because of the people that I'm associated with, that I know, quit talking about it. Not only quit talking about it, their mindset kind of changed. The things they were convinced that was going to happen and the habits that they were drawn into stopped.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, the new rhetoric started coming out, and the big trigger point was one you've been covering, was the watch the water.
Yeah. It's almost like they let it die and then bring it back, and they let it die and then they bring it back, right?
Yep, and that actually lit a very big fire.
And
go ahead.
No, I think that's done on purpose to keep them. There's no consistency. You're off balance, right? The ups and downs, those emotional ups and downs, is also a tale to keep people in that state, right? That feeling of lack of control. The ups and downs I believe, is another reason they do that.
And I can't disagree with that either.
So
we
tough.
saw Phil making up content, and it was a dry spell that was going on before this come out. So Phil Godlewski, one of the people that I cover, he was making up that he was on these missions and that he couldn't be there, and because there was nothing to report that he could steal from a message board or this or that, or nothing he hadn't went over yet that he wanted to prepare a video for. So he was just making shit up until now this Watch the Water, he's got a brand new narrative, that video, he's claiming he claims he's part of this Q thing. So he's mad at his handlers or whatever because they didn't tell him about it, and he's got a whole new narrative to work off of. But yeah, there was a big dry spell for a while before this came out.
Which is interesting you bring that up. You've asked the question several times, Will. Do these people really believe it? And I think it's a little bit contrary to what you believe, but even Phil, I think, believes it.
Let me ask you real quick. I have one question to ask. If Phil really believes it, why did he go from a regular guy who sells homes and is just a regular father of two, married, a normal guy, he admits this on some of his videos, to now saying that he's a secret agent hacker, but he knows that his background isn't real? Like he knows that that's all. Why would he add that lie to it if he didn't know it was all real?
Money is what is driving that. And the reason why I say that, and you've covered this well, and I think it's important for people to understand the pyramid marketing. I know there's another term for that.
Hang on. Just real quick, and I know where you're going. What Will's basically saying is, we know that they want the money, but if he actually believes that this is going on, then why would he make up the facade?
He would just say, I got involved with Q, I decoded this, I'm just a regular guy, we can all figure this out together, follow me, join my pyramid scheme. He didn't need to be a hacker. He didn't need to be a secret agent.
How do you get more followers and get above somebody else that has more followers than you?
So he wants to be the leader of the crazies, but he does believe it, is what you think.
Yes, and I don't necessarily know that he wants to be a leader. The dollar sign started saying, I need to change my narrative so that I can get above these other people. And so does he believe everything? I truly think so, based on what I'm watching with the people that I know. I think the money kicked in. He saw how much money he was making, and he thought to himself, hell, another 100,000 more subscribers. What do I need to do to achieve that? So he's got two things going on in his mind right now.
Right.
Gotcha. So he believes the Q story, but he knows that what he does is fake, so he's just faking what he is.
I mean, the only way that I could wrap my head around that, the only way that I could agree with that, or I guess a way that I could see that happening is, I mean, he's got to know about other people. He's got to know about, like, Whiplash. He's got to know about 107. He's got to know about RDA. He's got to know about all these other people who are faking it. Maybe if he truly believes that Trump's still president and the Q narrative and all that shit, maybe he said, well, if everybody else is lying about their background, I'll lie about mine too.
Right.
Exact words. And so that was a different statement, but very well along the lines of what I was told. I've been challenging this narrative, and these people that I know very well looked right at me and said, there's too many people that are talking about this for it not to be true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seems like that would be that naturally the opposite would be true. If it's a secret government movement, that there's too many people talking about it for it to be true. I mean, like I ran like actual missions overseas that only like 6 people know about. And if for some reason tomorrow like 10,000 people knew about it and it wasn't just like released, I'd be like, oh, well, this isn't true. You know what I mean? Like it would just be strange for that to happen.
I mean, I have moved freight that I wasn't able to talk about, and that's freight. You're telling me that the secret mission this secret mission, it's okay for people to talk about it. I have NDAs for moving freight that I can't talk about. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to watch. And I've looked at how do you stop it, and part of me says you got to find who's at the top, which we all know there's more than one. But these people are all being fed by 1 or 10 people. And if you watch all these movements, somebody puts out a video somewhere, and I know there's a text line that these people are on. And that is so that source is feeding it, and then you got your layers of people. So it goes back to the multi-level marketing, if you will. It's structured very similar. And so you have your layers as these videos come out. And so you have your people at the top that get the text message. They put their videos out. You get the people that watch those videos. They put their videos out. And you work your way to the bottom. Now, Robert's a perfect example of that. I think he's a perfect gentleman as well. He's trying to figure out what's going on. And so he's at the lower level. He watched all these videos. He's sitting there saying, well, there's so many people saying this. And then so he's feeding another narrative, which chimes right along with everybody above him, is how I watch this scheme playing out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's so easy to get wrapped up in how many people are involved and who's on top of who and who's getting information. Like, we've literally found some channels almost like they printed off a transcript and will read the exact same video someone else made 2 days ago. So are they all getting it from a single source, or were they getting it from that actual video, or were they spreading it around? Who's involved with getting it at the first level? I don't know. There's a lot to it. I'd love to know who's fucking involved, who's doing it. For a long time, I thought Lynn Wood was up there, like, because he was getting everybody signed on. He was providing information for people. He was doing these weird interviews. He started a podcast network with 4 or 5 of these channels. Plus, he had signed on with the Vandersloot guy who owns the Melaleuca MLM. He had been in talks with him, and there was like paparazzi that caught him at like 4 or 5 business meetings together and a couple of rounds of golf. And I thought, oh, he's lining people up for this, but he's going a different way. I mean, he's still like Q related, but he's going a different way and calling people out now that he used to be friends with, that I figured he was feeding information to. So I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you something. I've got a name of a gentleman that I'm going to send to you, Will.
Sure.
You've done a very good job researching this stuff. I don't know if it's going to have any grounds, but there is a lawsuit that is currently going on that is tied to this movement.
Right.
And you may know about it already. I don't know. But anyways, it is very interesting because it's been going on since Trump's presidency, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, a lot of stuff on those court documents is they can't release a whole lot of information because the investigation is still ongoing. That is one thing you guys have talked about a lot, is who are informants involved in this, as far as, is there an investigation going on online right now currently?
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. There might not be any grounds to that.
Oh no, I agree. I think you can just about one key factor to me is I think there would have been right now the Telegram groups, which Telegram's like the Wild West of like theories and conspiracy, and you can do whatever you want there, right? So one thing that always gets me is there might be some, like a very few early journalists that get into these groups. So even like when we're talking about like ISIS and Al Qaeda, there might be some journalists, like a very few slim margin of really bright, really good investigative journalists that get into a message board with some ISIS members that are plotting an attack, and they're working on a story. But the majority of just every journalist who's looking for a story isn't going to be there before federal agents are there. So if we're already talking about like every news outlet has someone in a Telegram group, then we're probably already talking about every federal agency has 10s, 20s, 30s of people in every Telegram group recording this stuff and keeping up with it. I guarantee you there's multiple investigations by multiple units going on because they're so scared that something's going to set them off, and there's going to be something at the Capitol or something at their state capitol or something going on with, a presidential event or I guarantee they're all over the place there. And who are the people that are like the FBI Michigan case that just got thrown out? There's got to be some of those type of guys too, like saying, "Hey guys, let's do this," and then they don't show up. So I guarantee they're all over it.
And there's a website. Is it on this one? No, it's probably on my other one. Anyway, I'll drop it on my community page. There's a thing where the FBI will post, and I'm always seeing that. Oh, Jan 6 people. So there's no way that they're not, rounding them up slowly but surely to keep them in a tight knit thing. Just like you said, right? Don't abandon them. Keep them close so you know what they're doing. And that's exactly what I believe law enforcement is doing also. Keeping them close, wounding them up, guiding them into their barrels. And because that's what I would do. That's what, if your law enforcement had anything type of, intelligence, you would basically say, look, we can't just shut them down because they'll scatter, right? We want to bring them and kind of keep them in an area so we know where they're at, so we know what they're saying, so we know if they're getting agitated, so we know what's going to happen. And there's no way that they're not doing that. There's no way. Did I lose everybody?
No, I think they're investigating for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm still here yet too. I just I don't want to elaborate too much tonight.
Well, I understand.
I just wanted to kind of jump in and say hi and give bits and pieces and kind of go from there. But like I said, if there's anybody watching, the biggest thing is keep those people close. There may be a day that they're going to need to come to somebody, and if you keep them too far distance, they're not going to come to you. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's hard to listen to it when you don't believe it. But quite frankly, there's no facts you're going to bring to those people. I've tried it. I've done a lot of research. I've watched Will. I've watched Sage. I've done a lot of that work, and that was one of the comments that told me that I'm not going to change them. Was simply, part of the reason why I keep getting videos every week is the comment was made to me that I'm concerned you haven't done enough research yet to understand what's really going on.
Right.
And so that told me no matter how much research I do, I will always be wrong.
That's right.
Exactly. And yet we keep doing shows.
Yeah, man. Send me that email, and you'll have to call in sometime, maybe at the start of a show or something, and we can talk longer about it. But yeah, I appreciate you. Send me the email. My email is coldbeerconfess@gmail.com if you want to send me anything. And then, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. He sends me a ton of emails. So, like I said, worst case, send it to me, and I'll shoot it over to Will. Worst case, but I'll shoot it over.
I'll try not to send as many as I said.
Oh, no,
I thought for a while maybe he wasn't reading them.
Oh, send them. Absolutely send them. I get to them.
So everybody knows that too. I've sent Sage a lot of emails, but what we have to understand is they have a focus and a goal with their channel. So just because we don't hear something back doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means they're on a different goal right now.
Yeah, and for me, like I said, now that you've got the email to send them to the computer that I work mostly on, it's going to be a lot easier. That way I don't have to go to the other computer. So trust me, I'll be able to get to them a lot quicker.
I'm the worst at answering back. If someone sends me down a trail, the first thing I do is just dive off in it, and then 6 hours later, I'm sitting here still reading shit, and I've already forgot your name and who you were and who emailed me and that I was supposed to email you back. Like, I'm the worst about that, but I do get to the topics at least.
Tuesday is my worst day, but besides that, shoot them over.
Yeah, no big deal. And I enjoy roundtables, and that's how we kind of get to the bottom of things and try and find the answers. So I appreciate what you guys do, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Man, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, because when we first came on, Andy, I didn't know. I was a little nervous because normally he calls my line. So that's why when we always get a little defensive when somebody comes in, because we want to see, okay, where are we going with this? Where are you at?
Yeah, I figured it was somebody over the Robert thing. That's why I was waiting for him to just flip the fuck out. I don't know. It's hard for me to say that you believe this narrative, but you don't. You made up a fake background. That's That's like my big kicker of whether they're being honest or they're not is how I've been. Which I will admit there's not a good way to separate who actually believes this, who knows it's bullshit and is just making money.
Right.
But that's the one I've been using lately because that's the only one I can really find. Does their background match the background that they're giving their followers? And if not, then I've been throwing them into a separate bucket. But that doesn't mean they're part of that separate bucket.
Right.
They could truly believe it and be scamming.
Right. I understand his point that some people could be like, yeah, I believe this stuff. But and then he wanted just to be on the top of that stuff, right? He wanted to be a leader of it. But the issue is that Phil actually said in that one video you showed this QAnon stuff was crap or however he worded it, right?
Yeah, that it was something else to keep them hanging on, that none of it was real or whatever. But so he claims that was a different account that did that, or it wasn't a video. It was a message on his message board on his Telegram. One thing I did think about the other day was, so I was thinking about their fake backgrounds, and I think about this like trying to find a new angle to cover it from all the time because I don't want my content to get boring. And I was thinking about, well, what about fake sources? And like Phil claims that he's got a source in the Treasury Department, and that's how he knows Nassar Gassar is coming. And I was thinking, well, if they have fake sources, because we know that's not true,
right?
Nobody in the Treasury Department would tell him that. So it's either got to be one of two things: either he's made up this source, or someone has reached out to him and lied to him about being a source, and he didn't, do a good job of validating them. And I was thinking, well, if he made up the source, that proves he's lying. But then it come to me, no, if I personally had a really important message, let's say that I knew for some weird reason, I knew for a matter of fact, at least the way I believed, that a comet was going to hit New York City tomorrow, and I'm not like and it's going to kill everybody in the state of New York. And I wanted people to believe me, and I'm not, I don't study the fucking space, and I don't study fucking meteors or this or that. I don't study any of that shit. And I have nothing behind me. If I felt compelled enough that I had to get this out there and I actually believed it, I might make up a source. You know what I mean? I might say, oh, I know somebody at NASA, or just to get people to believe, whether that's for money or benefit or their own benefit. I know there's some people that truly believe it. It's just so hard to pick out who believes it and who doesn't. Who's making money just because they know they can, plus they believe it, and who's just making money and they know it's bullshit. It's hard to decide.
And my issue, like I said, is like Libert, right? That situation's worse because he will legitimately say, "Oh, I don't know," but continue to bring people on that push that narrative, right? And knowing that, and then legitimately knowing that the people that he's bringing on are frauds, and he continues to bring them on, right?
Sure.
It's the same thing with the chiropractor. You're an ex-chiropractor, and you're saying it's snake venom. All right. Well, what is your credentials? When you're not checking credentials for somebody, and they're bringing something on, it's almost like that. I think is more dangerous. That's a serious problem. Like, to me, is Phil a problem? Sure, he's an absolute problem. But he's nuts, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. It's like you said, it's the liberties and stuff like that don't do background checks on the people that they bring on, and don't care and stuff like that actually do the worst damage.
They pretend like they're just a regular person, and they don't even believe this stuff, and they're just figuring it out like you are. But when in reality they're just pushing this stuff for a narrative, and because they want you to believe it, because they want viewers, and they know exactly what they're pushing down your throat.
Right. And this is where, like I said, so this is the part that you're not helping your country. You're not helping anything. You're not helping. You are literally destroying. You are the minds of the people that you feel that you're out there protecting. And you don't care. And so I don't want to hear it at all. Like I said, and these are the ones that are the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like
or wolf in sheep's clothing or whatever.
Yes, exactly. And I've got some stuff I'm working on to bring some people on, like I bring on Jeff, who is okay, my Jeff, which is Ukraine Jeff. who's okay, but just we're dealing with stuff and doesn't want to come out. He doesn't want to come out right for a little bit. And I'm like, that's no problem. But I do talk to him every day and stuff like that. But things like that, when you're bringing on legitimate people. But I say, hey, he's just a regular person. I'm not bringing Jeff on as a military expert or anything like that. We're not pretending. I bring him on. I say, look, he's just a regular person. And I go with it. And that's the type of stuff that, your people should know. And this is where it becomes dangerous because people want to believe something. And if anybody listens to the podcast I do with the doctor, it is about control. We all want control of our lives. We all want to be able to know that we have consistency and control, and we don't. And when we don't, we reach for it. And the people that are reaching for this are technically in states of mental problems. They don't want to admit it. They don't know it. And that's what happens. You don't know it. And it's that ups and downs and that lack of control that basically puts you into states of depression. And what's bringing them out of depression is the fact of the hope that could be there. And to be honest, she's like, these people, some of these people, you should be asking your doctor. You should be going to your doctor to get it fixed. Not to Phil, not to Liberty, not to them. It's time to see your doctor and say, look, I feel depressed. I get all this stuff going on. I can't, and you should have a doctor you should be able to talk to. And that's literally where you're at. And take it from somebody who's lived with somebody who has some, mental difficulties for the past 20 years, 24/7, 365. Me and my wife been together. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, guys, I guess that's it. Make sure you subscribe to Sage News, follow Motion in Our Element, Cold Beer Condemned, Cold Beer Creations.
I think drop Motions and Falls real quick. Falls 365. I don't know why I can't break that. And Motion's doing all right, but she's going to start doing. She's actually going to play. Do you know a game called Saints Row?
Yeah.
She's going to play Saints Row 3. Let me tell you something about Motion. Motion loves changing clothes with all the Saints Row gear. So she's constantly running into stores and buying clothes and shooting people and buying new clothes. So if you guys want to have, watch a pretty fun time, Saints Row is something that she enjoys. And if you don't know Saints Row, well, let's just say it's adult content there. So it's definitely.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for the donations tonight. Thank you for the caller. I think we only had one caller. Thank you for the caller called in. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us, the donations and the support. I'm gonna go live here in a little bit. I've got to do something first, but I'm gonna go live here in a little bit. But I got you remember the Star Wars video game we played? I've been playing it a little bit off and on, like in the background. But there's actually a really cool part of it coming up that I want to show, that I want to stream. So anyways, I'm going to go play that here in a little bit, maybe, 15 minutes. Other than that, I'll see everybody for a regular show back here tomorrow. We'll get on it. Oh, big shout out to Liam. He had his first hit in a game today. He's been really nervous at the plate, and his team won their first game. So in Little League. So
good job,
Liam. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Everybody have a good night, and hit me up if you need me. I'll be live here in a little bit. Why does somebody say wait? I never saw the link. Maybe next time. Good vibes. Why did somebody say wait?
Who said wait? Depends. Who said it?
WTH. Go Shar.
Wait, y'all. Well, you play music anyways,
Shar
right?
wants to call in. Shar can call in if she wants to.
Oh.
The link's in there.
Click the link, you keyboard warrior.
Now everybody's saying bye while she's trying to fight her way to the top.
There
it is. Yeah, I was excited about Liam. He's been really he was doing great this year, probably better than he did last year. He was even hitting the ball good. And his first time up at the plate, he caught one that was coming inside. He swung at an inside ball and it ran up the bat on him, hit him in the leg, and bruised him really bad, like to the point where he stumbled and fell on the field and started crying. So he was gun shy since then. Yeah, it was a mess, and he's been scared since then trying to bat. He's just been he wants to back out of the box. He wants to shuffle his feet while the ball's coming. You could tell he was nervous, but he finally stood in there and got a hit. So good deal.
So how did you? Do they wear? I have no idea. Do they wear any type of like shin guards or anything at that age? I never played baseball.
No, I mean he has a cup. I don't even think he wears it most of the time, but he has a cup. But this hit him up on like the thigh. It didn't even bruise that bad. He was just, I don't know. He's being a little bitch about it, but
oh Lord,
he's very sensitive sometimes.
Oh Lord,
it ran up the bat and hit him. So I mean, it was like hitting a foul ball. So, but he hit himself with it.
Why don't we get him in hockey?
Because I live in Tennessee and hockey's gay.
Hockey's not gay. In Tennessee, don't you guys have, there's an NHL team there, so there has to be ice rinks there.
Yeah, you know where fucking Nashville is compared to East Tennessee?
I do know where Nashville is. That can't be the only one.
Not a fucking goddamn hockey rink anywhere around here. None of the high schools play hockey. We had a sharpshooting team before we had a fucking hockey team.
You got a roller hockey? Get him a pair of rollerblades.
Yeah, then he's gonna grow up to be one of those divas that does the rollerblade wrestling. What's it called? Roller derbies.
That's roller derby. No, that's not the same thing. I actually knew Bobby Janos was a goaltender that we played with, and he was on the USA roller hockey
derby team.
Not derby team, you knucklehead. So yeah, he put him in hockey. Put him in an actual real sport.
Okay. Maybe if we move to Canada. I don't think Char's calling. Oh, she said she can't get her mic to work. I'll help you and we'll figure it out, Char, and then you can call in next time or you can call in on my show. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Oh, wait, she might be here.
Now that is here. I thought it was the other one.
It fucking better be.
It is. Bring her
What's
up.
up, Char?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. He can hear you.
I was hoping I could at least get some of the trolls to come up on panel.
Yeah. That ain't happening. Keyboard warriors, that's about all they got. Click the link. They won't click a link. They can type, but they won't click a link.
Right.
I'm going to have to start handing out. You're a keyboard warrior. Let me know. I'll mail you a mic so you can't have an excuse.
They would rather secretly mention us 6 hours deep into their 18-hour show so no one ever sees it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come up, because one, I did want to clarify that it was not 1A, 2A who said that. At the time, there were 3 people on the panel. Yeah. 2 of them didn't have, they weren't showing their face, so I wasn't sure. So I will say that I was wrong in that. However, he was involved, and I didn't appreciate him trying to gaslight me and act crazy in Gigi's chat. Like, he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what I was talking about. However, today I did witness him having a meltdown. Where he called all of his whole audience bitches, backstabbers, pussies. They don't have balls. They're fair weather people. And hopefully he watches this, because he shut his whole channel down, by the way.
Good deal.
He plans on starting a new one where he's going to start calling these people out who are sitting on the fence.
Oh, can't wait.
We can help you with that list, 1A, 2A. And I'm a little bit confused as to why you hate us, because it's the same reason why we troll these people, is because they are fair weather. They are fake. They are backstabbers. We see them come in our chat. We see them come in your chat, Sage. We see them in all these other chats running their mouths. But when they come into our chat, it's hello. And half the time I don't want to start shit, but I'm going to start calling them out. I know Yori already has. So I'm going to jump right on board with that.
That 1A, 2A guy, the stream that I saw of him, he fucked up and made himself a fucking liar, because he sat there the whole time and pretended like he didn't know nothing about it. And then when the guy who actually said it, that Fat Man Prepper or whatever his name is, when he came on and they were like talking about it, he's like, it sounds like a bunch of people whining, blah, blah, blah. 1A, 2A fucked up and said, well, I know what they're mad about. And then the Fat Man guy goes, well, yeah, but we're not talking about that right now. Get the fuck out of here. You knew the whole time.
Right. They knew exactly what they did and what they said. And it did upset me. I'm glad that Fat Man, I didn't see that whole show at that time. I was busy, and I did end up listening to it from the beginning, and it still pisses me off. And Sage, I wanted to say thank you because you got cussed out for me and thrown off of somebody's show for defending me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even. It was the fact too that it's like people want to run their. It would have been anyway, but in your, it's people want to run their mouths, right? They want to run their mouths and say stupid stuff. And I didn't even know the whole story, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go in, find out what's going on. So when I jumped on there, it was that. Well, I didn't say it. Well, I didn't say it. Well, I'm like, well, it was said. Well, why are you here? Because it was said. And then eventually they called me out on that other channel, and I'm like, the funniest part is before I got there on that other channel, he legitimately committed a crime in the state of Arizona. Right. I looked it up. He legitimately, and it was like, I'm like, he called somebody and said, I wish I knew where you lived. I would like to, can I even say it?
If I knew where you lived, I would show up and perform that act.
Correct. I would perform that act, right? So that's for one. So now you have to take the content. And then he's like, I wish I could do it to everybody. He said that. And then he says, there's no difference between Plato and trolls. And when I said, well, there is, he's like, no, there's not. I consider it. I'm like, so now he's legitimately arguing that there's no difference. So if you look up what the law is in Arizona in regards to threats, you could set a pattern. You could set a pattern.
And what they are doing, that's what they're doing, because, we're seeing in all of our states, they're making it easier for pedophiles. They want to take them off these lists because of assholes like that put targets on them. So what they're really doing is helping these convicted pedophiles because they're making the case that their life is in danger. And when you have somebody that does that, that's exactly what you're doing. So you're complaining that they're making laws easier for them, but you're also setting the precedents for why it's important for them not to have a list of where you live, not, to identify you because of people like that.
Correct.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna bring Yori in, and I think Sage, me and you just leave. I think that's the way this just happened.
I think reality.
Hey, what's up, Yori?
Hi. So, I'm the other one now? Like, when the hell did I get downgraded to the other one?
I don't know, but I just heard your accent, and I'm immediately gonna boot you. It sounds a little
it my
spicy
tone?
for this stream. Okay.
All right, I get it. I'll talk to you guys later.
So because it was funny too, because then Yori wanted to come up and is like, "I'm not show your camera," and I'm like, "Well, I don't think I thought to myself, I don't think anyone would fake being Yori." Well, okay. I legitimately went through my head. I thought to myself, "There's no one who has the guts to fake being Yori." So I'm like, "Look, I know who that is. If it says Yori on there, I know who it is. I can check for you." But I know who it is.
You could always just ask her opinion about people from Australia. That'll tell you right off the bat.
Right.
So that was the funniest part. That's the first thing that went through my head was I don't think anybody would fake being Yori, actually. I don't think they have the guts. So I'm pretty sure that's Yori. But so, yeah. So when she came out, I'm like, okay, stay calm. Well, that didn't happen. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, okay.
I work calm.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Well, that wasn't calm?
That was calm.
That was calm. That was real calm.
Okay, it wasn't sage calm. Let's put it that way.
Oh, no. I don't profess ever in life to be sage calm.
So, but yeah. So then it just got turned around into a bunch of circles. And then all these guys are saying, just leave, just leave. I'm like, I can't figure out how to get out of here. But
they kicked me out. They didn't let me land my point. They just booted me out.
Yeah.
They probably banned you for good as well.
Yeah.
Sound like a bunch of bitches.
I've been kicked out of nicer places.
For less, probably.
Probably.
That was part of the problem was their banning, because it could have all been taken care of if they stopped. And you heard Fat Man say that it was a game to see how many times they could time me out, because I was responding. I was trying to confront them about it. And I mean, what can I do when they're constantly banning me? And when I saw him over in Gigi's, I addressed him. I didn't tell them. I didn't say, oh my God, guys, guess what happened? I saw him and said, hey, motherfucker, here I am. He didn't like that. And he really didn't like that other people were there to take my side. And thank you, Yori, too, for and all of us. Like, people don't even realize this. There is a group of at least 30 of us, and we are tight. We are close. We talk. We look out for one another.
Just internet people, guys. We're just internet people.
Yeah, there's 30 plus your clones. Let's be honest. You guys got a lot of clones. So
I need more clones. Maybe I can get some sleep around here. Have a couple to take care of the kids, clean the house. Maybe go out and get a boyfriend.
Nor the world is ready for a clone of me. I will just be honest.
I think they got this, right? I think it's their show now, right? We do the first part, they do the second part.
No, we will never. He'd be like, oh, hell fucking no. I'll wake up to no channel.
Somebody just said you should have a ladies' night, and I vomited in my mouth a little bit.
Sister wives, we're gonna take over.
Will would have no channel. He would wake up to no fucking channel.
Do you guys mind if I address the whole Deanna situation? Is that okay? Or
I don't care. Go ahead.
Because she showed up last night in your stream, and I'd fallen asleep. I'm so mad that I missed that, but I just wanted to put out that why I'm mad. I mean, I think she may have an idea, but when she was on that panel talking about the friend from CBC, she was talking about me. But she cherry picked my email, my messages. She didn't read the whole thing. And even with Yvonne, because I want to clarify this too, because I know Yvonne had some issues with her being brought up. I let Deanna know that I did not appreciate, and not just me, everybody in our group, we don't appreciate what they're doing to Robert. And Yvonne stood up to them, and people were pissed off about it. So that's why that even came up. So Deanna, you cherry picked my messages. That was some bullshit. You got up on that panel. You looked awfully comfortable with all those fucking snakes that all talk shit about you. They all talk shit about you. We defended you. So for you to say that I defended her. No, bitch, I defended you to my real friends. I defended you to our group because half of them didn't trust you.
I still don't trust her. I never trusted her. I never will trust the bitch. I never defended the whole.
When she said, I see things from a different perspective, I see things differently, I believed her. But she's more comfortable with being with those backstabbers than she is with people that'll be honest. And that speaks volumes. So yes, I am pissed off at you. No, I ain't trying to be your friend no more. You're going to learn on your own about these fucking people.
I think my biggest confusion lies I'm going to be honest. Until I met the crew here, I was more of a loner. But now, I can't understand why people just didn't like me. But they know how I am, and they know how you guys are, right? I'm the calmer one when I go on this stuff, pretty much compared to Will and you guys. But even then, I know how you guys are, and they know how everybody is. So when they come to us or they come to Will and they go and they say, hey, you should go after this person, you should do this. When you guys do, or when we do, and then next thing you know, they're back friends with them. That's like WWE stuff, or now WW, whatever it's called. And that, I think that confuses me. I don't understand that. It's like, I think that's the problem I have. So it's like when people come, if you're running your mouth about me in another chat and my mods see it, I told them, snipe you as soon as you walk in the room. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's one of those things that you're not, if you're going to run your mouth about me someplace else or about my crew someplace else and then come in my room and want to talk, you don't need to talk in my house. You can watch.
Papa lets us play with the chew toys every now and again. And sometimes he gets his chewing in too.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem I have, is that you have these people that, hey, go after Travis. And then next thing you know, we do videos of Travis. And next thing, they're all in Travis's chat and they're all friends. It's like, what?
Yep.
What?
They use you, they abuse you, they spit you out, and then you're the spawn of Satan. Straight
Right.
up.
You don't change. We haven't changed. I am who I am. You guys are who you are. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know they were like that. Yeah, you did. You did when you called us and asked for help. You knew what we, now that the help is done, now you think you don't know us and we're mean people. Well, you knew when you came in. And I think that's what I have an issue with people, is that I am who I am, and
All right, Papa.
we are who we are. So don't come over when you need us, and then bash us when you don't. That don't work well.
Well, they use God. They use God to reinforce the abuse that they subject themselves to. Like, if you treat me like shit, bye, I'm done. You have a right to love yourself and treat yourself right. Sure. And I don't see God is ever pulling me aside and going, why weren't you talking to those assholes that completely screwed you over, robbed you, talked about you behind your back? But I can see God going, why were you screwing these people over? Why were you stabbing these people in the back? Why were you doing the things that you were doing? I mean, it's insane that they have mentally allowed themselves to use God to reinforce abuse. Like, you can't make this shit. Like, this is the shit that you really can't make up because it's real.
Good-hearted, kind-hearted, fucking good souls. Because regardless of what, we're all good souls. We got a couple of fucking potty mouths, and we'll tell you like it is. And Sage is fairly calm, but the fact that they've repeatedly come over here to attempt to use the birds and attempt to use everyone in this fucking community is absolutely disgusting. And then they turn around and sit there and say, you motherfuckers are of the devil. No, you're of the devil because you came over here under false pretenses. We never lied about who the fuck we were. We still don't fucking like you. We did you the favor when your own fucking friends couldn't do you the fucking favor.
Right.
So take that.
That's my issue. And like I said, if I were to go someplace else and they're like, and you guys came out, I'd be like, I don't know what to tell you. You must have screwed up because they're here. I don't know what to tell you. They're here, and now it's over.
It's almost like they're a glutton for punishment. They'll say they'll do some shit, and then we'll show up, and then they'll do it again and say, oh, well, they showed up the other day. I'm so mad about it, and then they'll do the same shit again. Like do you think we won't show up? Do you think we can't see?
Did you not realize the first time after we showed up that we will continue to show up and we don't give a fuck about showing up?
Right. I mean, I got to the point now where I said, say my name, I'm showing up. And people are like, well, can't say anybody's name. Don't say his name. Okay. Don't
say his name, but title the entire live stream with your name.
Right.
I want to respect said person, but I'll brag and run Char's name through the mud. But I'll respect this dirtbag motherfucker. But you, no, I gotta give him respect. I'm not gonna mention his name, but you two are fucking fair game. But then when you show up, it's like block, 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 block. Oh my God, we're hacked. Block, 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 block. We're hacked.
Well, that's just like the fat guy, the fat man prepper guy. I'm like, why can't I say his name? You titled my name in your show before I even got here. I was like, are you serious? I can't say 1A, 2A? Well, we don't say names here if they're not here. Dude, the title of your show that I wasn't here for the first 30 minutes is my name of my channel.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
It's just weird. They talk about it, but don't talk about it. And then they will mention someone and then say, oh, don't mention them. Or it's just odd. Like, I can't deal with older people because I can't call them adults. And I've come to the conclusion today. Not everybody's a fucking adult because you have age or because you think you have wisdom. You just don't. Period.
Sure.
You're just old.
Right.
And these people think because they have of age or they are who they are, or they in their brain they have this perception of who they are, whatever. They think that they are not responsible for what they say. They're not. Oh, I said it. Well, fuck it. Whatever. I'll go review the videotape later. Like, get the fuck out of here. What grown ass adult has to review a fucking video? I know what the fuck I'm saying right now.
I maybe it's this, right? And I'm not defending anybody because Diane's in here. Maybe we need to explain to them that if you're in somebody's chat and the crew comes over there because they don't like that, how should they just, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think people understand that if
I don't like you, I'm not going to like you. My actions are not going to change because Will's very well aware. Will can tell you no. They're very well aware. My actions are not going to change because he tells me, oh, well, she's cool. That's fine. It's your chat. I will respect and I will play cordial. That don't mean you're my fucking friend. I'm not gonna sit here. We're not gonna parlay. My energy is not gonna change if someone else comes on this panel and starts talking shit about someone else that I like. It's just not. It's not gonna happen. And that's an opportunist. That's someone who will move, and it's a fucking chameleon. And those are the worst kind of people because they sit there and they conform and they fit in, and they're a form of a grifter. They pick up, or sociopath, whatever. I don't know. Pick one. They pick up similar traits to everybody they're sitting around, and they just mesh, and they just want to be liked by everybody. And everybody has to be my friend. I don't give a fuck if people like me.
Yep. I think that's it. I think that's exactly it. And they don't realize that I'm not like that. I don't have to.
You don't have to be liked by everybody.
Correct.
It's not normal.
Well, you two, the mods don't run your shows. And that's the difference between you guys and all of these channels, because a lot of these channel owners, they probably wouldn't have as many problems as they do if they ran their own damn chat, if they ran their own damn show. Because these mods, they're all mods and all of the Liberty Warrior Network fucking channels, all 500 of them. And they're the ones that carry the bones from chat to chat to chat. They're the ones that target their own people. They target us, and don't think this is like a victim thing, because I don't give a fuck. I'll go head to head with any of them. I don't care.
Right.
But they cause all of the problems. The trolls show up because of the mods. That's who's getting trolled. If you look and see who's being called out, it's the mods. Liberty Warrior does get called out. Travis was getting called out. And Hawk gets called out. But all the other ones, it's the mods that people are targeting. There's a reason for that.
Right. Yeah, because if I'm called out and somebody says, hey, you're being called out, I'll drop a link.
Right.
You know what I mean? For me, for my show and stuff like that. But besides that, I just think that they don't realize that we are who we are. You know what I mean? And we don't play WWE. So if you're going to run your mouth here and we see it or somebody says it and stuff like that, it's like, why are you here? Why are you pretending to be something when you ran your mouth about me over there?
Right.
Stop it. Stop it. I'm not paying you. You don't work for me. So don't pretend to like me.
Well, I noticed some of those people did get attacked in 1A, 2A's chat. And they're going to be really upset when they show up on Tuesday on your show and their asses are blocked there too. Because he had an issue with anybody that to him was sitting the fence or playing both sides. So I know he went after Independent, Many United, whoever the fuck her name is. He did go after her today in his chat. And I even think he was referencing the Wizard at one point, but he wasn't saying names. And it was funny because he's like, oh, these people don't say names, but he really wasn't either.
Right.
But so
I don't know. I hope they all make a video about me so I can respond.
Oh, me too.
Game on.
Say my name.
Right. You don't even have to do anything. Like, and that's the shitty thing, Will, is that like fuck these people. Like we hate like even making things worse. You know, and because they always, if they see one of us, they immediately assume that it's you, and it's not. We're there on our own accord if we're there. Most of us don't hide who we are, you know, when we show up. But I like to see them sit on panel and fucking shake, because I'm there to keep your ass honest. And that's a fucking problem. They know if I'm in the chat and they do or say something stupid, that I'm going to say something. And they don't want the smoke, and that's okay. I don't blame them.
I literally cannot hide my accent, apparently. So
that's going to
You're
happen.
doing such a good job right now.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Not going to happen.
Anyway,
Thank you guys. I'll let y'all get off because I know Will's going to go live. I'm sorry. I didn't see the link earlier, but I was like, I'm going to click in and.
I just wanted to know when I got downgraded to the other one, because I was like, well, fuck, that de-escalated quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to be the former one soon.
Ooh, burn. I'm sure people are going to love hearing that. Psych, internet people.
See you guys.
I'm going to create my name as Yori.
I wouldn't do it.
one. No, I wouldn't either. So I told you, as soon as that happened, I'm like, that's when he's like, oh, there's a Yori. I'm like, yeah, that's her. I know her. Are you sure? I thought to myself, there's no way anybody would fake. No one would do that. So that was funny when I thought about that.
All right, guys. Thank you for the call-ins. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations and the support. I'll be live here in a little bit. Check out the channel, subscribe, look at them, follow them.
Real quick. Monkey Works, make sure you shout us out since you're using my info. Thanks, buddy.
You feeding him the Q pipeline?
No, he's starting to talk about the fact that selective service in the draft. Didn't we talk about that? That wasn't us? Now he's starting to bring that up. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Or I'll be live in a little bit, but if you don't want to watch that show, I'll see you on the next one. Everybody have a good night and take it easy. Holler at me. Have a good night, guys. I'm going live on my channel. We'll probably still talk about some of these topics, like a debrief or whatever we were just talking about. But I'm also going to be playing a video game. So we'll be talking about this type of stuff, but I'll be playing a video game. If that's not for you, I understand. I got you. Saw it at the end, but someone said it. We didn't say that name. Rhino kind of showed his true colors as well, huh? We'll talk about that. See you guys.